Getting live. Getting live tonight. Getting live. Getting live. Getting live tonight. Getting live. Getting live. Getting live.
Krown. Ew, crab claws. Ugh.
Krown has lost the bell, so this is what you get. Ring, 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 hello, Simpson Virgins, and welcome back to Krown's magical but bell-less cave.
That's right, the Bella's cave is back, and we got, ew, get those fucking crab claws away from me, disgusting. Anyways, welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave, the Air Krown Crypto channel, whatever the fucking channel you're at right now. You're in the weirdest part of the goddamn internet, and we got plenty to talk about today with the short-term time frames, actually, as Bitcoin does play out our test to the bottom side of the range that we did speak about over the past 24 hours. And now, where does this lead us into? Well, the rest of the week, basically, as we get prepared for some very fun and non-emergency action, to have a nice title for today's video. Anyways, with that said, before we get into it, I want to say a massive thank you for all the likes on this video. We are at 225 right now. Holy fucking moly, that is amazing. Major thank you for that in a more heartfelt way, because it is rather special, and I do really appreciate that. And more importantly, we do have a big old sale going on right now as well. It is not, however, my birthday. At least I hope it's not, because I don't want to be getting older just yet. However, it is a good old Black Friday or Thanksgiving, whatever holiday you might be celebrating, whether it's real or not. It is there for you for the next week to come. And of course, I do want to say, before we get into it, I should probably also wish you the best in the haps before I even get into this fucking thing. God damn it already. But more importantly, hey, with all the programs, make sure that you watch the promotional videos that accompany them on the Krown Trading app, because they'll explain who they're for, who they're not for, and if it's even relevant towards you. And my big fear with any one of these programs is that, hey, someone might rush into them because, you know, it's a sale and blah, 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 got to get in because low price and all that good stuff. No, please make sure that they're actually applicable for you. For most people, you probably don't even want to get into it, or at least make sure that, like, you know, you're aware of the implications of them, because when it comes to actual trading and technical analysis, or more importantly trading, it is going to be a long journey. There is no magic pill. While I do love my programs, and it's kind of like my legacy life's work, and continuing and ongoing, you know, from here as well, more importantly with that, you know, it's going to take on average about a year to a year and a half from what I typically see now, running this program for almost 4 years now. I think 3.5 years. So I do think that that's probably going to eliminate most people right off the get-go right there. And now we can get in the Krown Chain application, which we found at app.krownchain.net. And by the way, it is for the price of free, by the way. And what do we see? We see Fear and Greed Index coming up to a 50 read. That's great. That's just fucking great, as Bitcoin basically hangs on to the lows, putting in a weekly local high. And what people are not fearful. They are neutral towards this sentiment. And on top of that, we do see that there are actually several altcoins going to the moon and beyond yet again. So perhaps that is actually why, although I do suspect that that is more or less geared towards Bitcoin as far as the sentiments go. But we do see that AMP, Sandbox, Elrond, Engine Coin, Crypto.com, Decentraland, Curve DAO, Quant, and Cosmos all on the winners list with some pretty damn big games right there. So we are seeing a lot of altcoins pop off. We are seeing bifurcation and maturation within this market, which is actually a good thing and to be expected over the long period of time. And we've been waiting for this for a long time here. So I do think that it's not necessarily as relevant to be looking at Bitcoin as like the major decider of everything. You know, Bitcoin being essentially bullish in the more short and medium term has not necessarily, or not being necessarily short bullish in the short and medium term has not necessarily affected a lot of these altcoins, which are showing a lot of strength comparatively speaking. So that is a good sign of a maturing market. Into the market data tab we go over here, of which I do want to follow up on the global funding rate, which has again been downtrending significantly for the last month and a half, going in from late October. And more importantly with this, you know, you aren't necessarily paying too much to hodl your longs right now. Technically speaking, there's going to be a lot of exchanges that actually even have negative rates, meaning that you get paid to hodl your longs. And that is, well, fine, although you're probably underwatering your longs as well, because we are at the lowest price point that we've seen in the last few weeks here. Anyways, global leverage ratio. Oh, dear Lord, don't say it ain't so. Oh, man, say it ain't so. This market just doesn't learn. This market just doesn't learn. Global leverage ratio at ticked back up again, pretty much around its prior highs, not 0.2%. 15%. Oh boy, man. Oh fucking boy. But why is that actually happening? Well, as we can see over here in the global open interest, it's actually not ticking up. So this is more or less due to the fact that coins are coming off of exchanges. So that would imply more long-term hodler behavior, but long-term hodler behavior doesn't mean that the short-term immediately V bottoms out of where we're at right now and goes on to $100,000 or whatever the plan B target is of this month. Anyways, we do see that global open interest hasn't necessarily come down all that significant, but it is more or less on a downtrending metric right there with a lower high. And we do see that, you know, this market is starting to slowly deleverage, but I suspect that it's going to take more than a 15% move on price action to really get people out of their positions. I mean, what if you're using 5x leverage, then a 20% move will liquidate you. And I suspect that not everyone, you know, entered at literally the all-time high right now as well. So of course that is going to be an ongoing narrative as we go onwards and forwards from this, you know, from this point. But following up on that, I do expect that this market does take a long time, a lot longer than what I think most people are considering right now, of course, as well, due to the video that I put out this past weekend on the cycle, or just what I'll kind of refer to as the cycle checkup. I also put out a more streamlined video on Elio's channel last night as well. If this channel is a little bit too, well, sometimes fast-paced, which I totally understand, you know, it's not for everyone, and that's all good. And I appreciate anyone who even, you know, gives a fuck enough to try this channel, because it is, like I said, a very bizarre place on the interwebs. And it's by some magical some sort of dark magic that we've even gotten this big, which is just insane. Anyways, with all of that said, I feel like I'm missing a few things. Yes, Instagram, there's apparently a few scammers trying to impersonate me on Instagram. Look, I only have one personal account. There is a link in the description below. If you're not getting DMs from that account, which I'm probably not going to DM you to begin with, not because I don't love you or because I don't like you, it's because, well, I'm like busy enough with my own life, and also I'm not interested in trading anyone else's account other than my own. You know, please understand that if it sounds too good to be true from whatever, you know, social media venue that you might be contacted on, both YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, it's probably a scam and it's probably not real. And I think that this is hopefully self-evident to most people out there, but in case you just need a subtle reminder, well, that would be it right there. Of course, what else do I want to say? Should we do the old FEMEX thing again as well? Yeah, sure, why not, man? We got a we do have a link in the description below for FEMEX exchange. It's one of the few 100x leverage exchanges that I can actually say that I've actually met the main CEO, and he seems like he's actually trying to go, you know, the legitimate route with it. So that's why I kind of did like it. And they're offering a big deposit bonus right now. Of course, the same thing goes there as it does with the programs. Look, if you're not already a successful trader, do not bother getting in, because it's the reason why they're offering up a deposit bonus, because they know that they are going to make more off of you than you off of them. Not necessarily that it's that way. I mean, they're just facilitating trade, so it's not necessarily like a real comparison to begin with. But, you know, look, if you're getting into trading, if you're trying to learn, if you're new, trade a testnet account, which they actually do have over there, so you can take advantage of that. That means that you won't risk any finances during your learning phase. And then once you actually do, you know, get to whatever level that you want, then yeah, maybe consider putting in a bit of account, and then you get your deposit bonus, and then yeah, you can compound that. All good. Okay, great. All right, so let's get off all of that. Let's get into the price action charts right now. And what do you know? Bitcoin did hit our downside target yesterday, even got our bounce from yesterday as well. Riding off of here, this was my old LARP lines, still kind of working right there, which is kind of funny. Look, I do not trust these sort of things all that much, just kind of a fun thing to do, but understand that whenever you're talking about, you know, kind of forecasting price action like this is not something that can actually be done, because price action can take a million different formats. I mean, technically speaking, price action is on a very a very minuscule scale, random, or I wouldn't say it's random, it's unpredictable, but not necessarily random, to be quite honest with you. And I think that whole notion is actually wrong. I don't think that it's random. I do think that it is unpredictable, however, and on like a very, very short-term time frame basis. On a long-term, obviously things do trend, and I think that it would be very naive to say that that is not true. Anyways, I'm going to get rid of this right now. Yes, it is rather interesting, but as Bitcoin does come back down in the bottom side of our blue box territory right here, there are several things of interest right now, as Bitcoin does have a potential bear trap set up right here. Now, what is it going to take to confirm this as a bear trap? Well, Bitcoin needs to trade back above essentially the area that it got rejected from yesterday. In fact, it technically would be about $60,000 even. I would say that you can even move it down to the wick high from yesterday that we did see on that spike up upon Jay Powell getting reinstated as what's it called, Fed chairman. And guess what? Brainerd gets to be the vice chair. So it's like you got number one and number two, both of which are going to just turn on the fucking money machine, as you would expect. And that was actually one of the reasons that they postulated, or not, that they presented why they were actually going to put him back in, for policy continuation. Ha ha ha. Anyways, with that in mind, we do see that lower term timeframes are going to start to print some regular bullish divergence coming off this, as we do have a downturn right here, multiple drives as it does build up, and we do have, or do we have a slightly lower low right here? I think that we might. Let's see, we closed 59,996 right there. Where did we close right here? 55,911. Close enough is close enough in this case. You know, it probably is going to create a little bit of divergence, but that also offers up an edge on the other side, meaning that if Bitcoin does close below 55,150 on a 4-hour delta closure, I would be looking for the next leg down. And in this case, the next leg down would very likely bring us back down somewhere right around about 53,500, and I would be looking for bounces there. Until then, I do think that Bitcoin's in a little bit more of a bouncy posture right here yet again, very similar to yesterday in this essence, in the sense that, you know, regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish, I do think that Bitcoin very likely bounces here. It would be kind of uncharacteristic to let short positions just absolutely run wild without really getting tested ever since, I mean, $65,000. So, you know, typically in my experience, markets are not that generous, but fair enough. You know, could that happen? I suppose yes. And my criteria for that, again, would be closing below about 150 on a 4-hour closure for continuation south first, rather than a bounce first. And of course, where does Bitcoin initiate a pretty major bear trap? Actually, would be back above about 59,500. If you want to be a little more aggressive, if you're a little more on the conservative side, I would say 60,000. What is our high right here? 60,050 are 21st of November highs. If one of those conditions get met, then yes, I would be looking for a pretty big move to the upside. Very likely Bitcoin at the least test around 61.5. Personally speaking, I do think that Bitcoin would initiate a run somewhere around the 0.5 here at about $63,000. Keep in mind though, that would still actually be, of course, a lower high on this price action, and Bitcoin's looking at lower highs essentially, as long as we're below, especially, well, I mean, technically speaking, 65,500, but as long as we're below the 618 Fibonacci retracement on a bear retracement, then yes, that is available. And I don't think I did that actually perfectly here, so let me just readjust for our current price action. And yeah, 63,500 right there is where I'd say. And what do you know, on the daily, if we are going to be looking at a potential bear trap right here, what else is kind of supporting that within the next couple of days? Well, we would have a slightly higher low on our daily RSI right here, alongside a slightly lower low on a daily closing basis. So we do have a potential bear trap setup. Again, a lot has to happen in order for this to be confirmed. I'd say at minimum, I want to see either a closure above the 55, which is about 58,500 on a daily, or a wick higher than yesterday's high, which would be an aggressive way. Or if you want to be the most conservative, then looking for a wick higher than the 21st of November would very likely do it. And then yes, I would be looking for that move into the shallow $60,000 territory at around 63, maybe 63.5. And then we get to play the game of, is this a lower high or not? If it is, then get ready for the real move. Get ready for the real move. And we're going to talk about some very sombering things in a second here. However, before we get into that, I do want to suggest a few other things that are kind of in line with potentially a nice little bear trap in the making right here, of which we do see daily Stokes. Daily Stokes are all the way down now, all the way fucking down into the not just the bearish control zone, but the critical zone on the bear side. And if they will be actually crossing up with any sort of a closure today above 56,540, which we are currently trading right bold $30 above right now. So you know that it's going to the moon and beyond. No, of course, it's a long day left to go. But if we do see that confirmed, yes, I would be looking for that as, you know, another compounding signal that very likely Bitcoin does put in a nice bear trap first before another potential continuation drive to the downside. If we go over here to the 12-hour, do we see the same sort of thing? 12-hour will turn back up above 57.5. I don't think that would be a front runnable condition, however, in order to confirm a bear trap if Bitcoin were to fill this condition intraday here. I do think it would be obviously a good thing for the BULAs, but it wouldn't be conclusive in and of itself. 4 hours is also going to be popping back up with any sort of a closure on the next closure, which will be in 1 hour, 37 minutes and 13 seconds above $56,000. So we are currently above there right now by a clean $500 or so. Bi-hourly is going to be showing what? Freshly crossing up above 56.1, and hourly is also going to be up as well. So we pretty much have all time frames kind of in concert with each other. These are the signals that I typically do like to pay attention to, and they do typically lead into a potential situation, which I'm kind of presenting right here as a bit of a bear trap. And again, bear trap targets to the upside, if it does get completed, would be, just kind of doing some bad mental math, somewhere between about 63 to 64,000 bucks. Not on the same fucking day, by the way. It's probably going to take a week. Now, I do want to bring you back on over here. Okay, we're going to do it right now. All right, I'm going, well, I'm not, hold on. We're going to start with it right now. Okay, so let's go back on over here. Again, I've been speaking about this for probably too long, but if you are new here, or if you just need a bit of a reminder, trend is everything in my opinion. Well, trend, volatility, momentum, but trend is like number one. Volatility is like it is number two. It's where rather important. Momentum is like a distant third. In fact, it's more like number 5, and there's no 3 or 4. It's what it is. But what do we have over here? We do have, we did have a reversal very similar to what we're looking at right now, where Bitcoin was a higher low, higher low, higher low, comes down right here. We have a lower low. Here's your actual low. Okay. From that actual low to your next major high, in this case, a lower high, which was right at the 0.618 on a bearish retracement, by the way. Well, that took about 3 weeks. So if we're looking at something similar over here, what would be the relevant regions? Well, the relevant regions would be, that 63,500-ish region. And, could that take a couple weeks from confirmation of a local low right here or confirmation of a bear trap? Yeah, it could. I mean, this market isn't going to happen in one day. And the market is designed to not take your money, although it's designed most importantly to frustrate you. And how does it frustrate you? It frustrates you by taking some time, because not everyone, but especially newer participants to the market, and I was certainly this way myself when I first got into trading, are always looking for like the moonshot or the doom shot. Everyone's talking about 100,000 before end of year or 100,000 before the end of the month. I don't care about these time frames for them. They mean nothing, right? It doesn't need to get to 100,000 before the end of the year. It doesn't need to get to 100,000 before the end of the month. What we need to look at is price ranges, and then look at time as just continuous, just a continuous thing, because that's what it is. I mean, the moment is always now. The moment is always present, my friends, and that's why we should always be living in the now. Here and now. The past is an illusion. The future is, well, it doesn't exist. So who cares? The only thing that matters is right now. And as it stands right now, we do have a potential setup like that. However, a lot of work still needs to be done. And of course, in the short-term timeframes, what would be a good initial thing to be looking for in order to potentially front run that reversal in the most aggressive way? I'd say with a 4-hour closure back above about 58,250, that would be okay. Again, I do think that in these sort of potential situations, it's better to be a little bit more on the defensive rather than offensive, just because the edge is still there and the edge is rather large. Now, I want to talk about something that is not going to be received all that well, probably. Although I do understand that there's a lot of traders here, which is great, but there's also a lot of new people as well, which, hey, you're more than welcome here. Just understand that we are traders here. We're not, just always up or always down. And so I'm going to warn you right now, turn your face away if you want to be bullish. All right. Okay. You turn your face away. Okay, great. All right. Let's get on over here. All right. Let's talk about the weekly yet again. The weekly is fucked. The weekly's foobar, bro. The weekly is wrecked beyond belief. No, it's not wrecked beyond belief, but look, what do we have right here? We do have several drives of bearish divergence on the weekly, the 5-day, and of course the bi-weekly as well, which is actually going to be constructing it on the next closure. Did not technically confirm it on the last closure, but fair enough. For the weekly alone, this is rather compelling and rather significant. And what do we have right here? Well, we have multiple drives of bearish divergence, 1, 2, 3 coming off the top alongside a phantom drive right there. And what is the typical target going to be? At minimum, the 21x Benjamin average, which is about 52,500 or so, and kind of moving around there. On top of that, we do see that weekly Stokes are also coming down hard, baby. They're coming down real fucking hard as long as below 65,450. So, is it possible for Bitcoin to get back up above there before end of week? Yes. Is it likely? No, I wouldn't say so, at least. Even on a bear trap confirmation, 63,500 or 63,000 is about the target, not 65,000, although it would be within striking distance, I suppose. I would keep an open mind with it, obviously, but in this case right here, what else do we have, and what else can we go onwards and forwards with? Well, as far as this goes, again, understand that what I'm going to talk about next, this is more what's the word that I'm looking for? This is going to be more experimental, but I do think that it's a legitimate possibility, and it's something that very few people are considering right now, at least from what I can gather across the interwebs lands. And well, it's this basically. Here's my old LARP lines right now, and what do you know? Bitcoin very likely does test around the 21. Maybe in the next couple weeks here after a bit of a bouncy bounce. And then if the bounce does fail, well, I mean, this would be kind of like your long-term uptrend alongside the green 55. And this would be a long-term, of course, ascending triangle, which would be a reaccumulation. Is it likely that Bitcoin is so strong that it does something like this? It's possible, yes, but I don't think it's as probable, at least in my experience. The longer that you spend consolidating, typically the better that, or the bigger that the resolution is going to be. And let's just see what the measure move on this would be as potential formation. Oh, what do you know? It'd be at a plan B target, it looks like, in the mid $90,000 territory, with probably a continuation implied on top of that. And if we were to kind of play something like this out, it would actually land itself on a bullish retracement, by the way, on a bullish retracement for the last like 8 months now, I believe, between the 618 and the 0.5, which is actually, a pretty damn good area. And when you look at this from this structure right here and just get rid of all the shit on your right hand side as far as price action goes, if I just show you this chart, whether it be a 5-minute, an hourly, a daily, or a weekly, you'd probably say the same thing. You'd probably say, okay, that's actually rather like that's like reasonable. And I do think that this is rather reasonable, especially with the way that things are looking at from a momentum oscillator perspective right now as well. So while Bitcoin will have a chance here to complete a bit of a bear trap and maybe carries it onwards and upwards, on this next couple of weeks, I think that that's a little bit less likely than something like this to happen. I mean, even something like this where it'd be like just coming down to the 21 and then coming up. I mean, that I guess that'd be a little more likely than than the prior assumption, but still, I mean, that's a pretty fucking aggressive move right there. And look, you want this thing to consolidate as long as possible, because let me show you what happens typically when you consolidate for a longer period of time. The last time that we consolidated for a very long period of time was, of course, between 2018 and 2020. And what do you know? Bitcoin goes, basically after breaking the macro area right here, which I essentially look at as about 12,000 or 11,500, went for about a 5-6x all the way to $60,000 over here. Of course, if we go back to the prior cycle before that was 2014 to 2015. This one took about a year and a half to resolve itself. And there was your massive move to, from basically like $200, or well, it's not necessarily $200, but breaking the macro area was about $1,000 all the way to $20,000. The longer that it goes through that, typically the bigger that the resolution is going to be. So I do think that that's going to curtail a lot of expectations coming into this next, half year to a year here. And again, I stick by, or it's not that I stick by my analysis over the weekend, talking about when the potential end of cycle is. It's just that's what the data shows. That is what statistics are on the side of. And make the decision for yourself, obviously. But I am, you can probably figure out what the fuck I'm thinking just by that narrative. So with all of that in mind, how does it affect the general market? It's probably going to do something relatively similar, unless it's one of the strong coins that you're looking at right now, of which they should be relatively obvious because they are obviously rallying to the moon and beyond. Anyways, for also reference, if we go over here to the quarterly chart, Bitcoin can close above 51,500 by the end of December and still be trending freshly above the topside Krown band right here, which would imply that the next quarter, maybe even 2 quarters, very likely does try for some new all-time highs. So again, I really think that is good to temper expectations about when moon rather than like now moon, right? So, so talking about all of that, I do think that people are, generally speaking, kind of grasping at straws right now, to be quite honest with you. Anyways, do we lose the PMARP over here? Yes, we did lose PMARP. So yeah, I'm looking for a correction down to the 20, very, very likely over the next month. There will be bounce along the way, obviously. And like I was showing over here on the short-term timeframes, I do think that we could very easily have a bear trap, probably this week if it's going to happen. I mean, it wouldn't happen next week. It'd happen this week if it's going to happen. But pressure is onto the downside, and lower highs are had as long as Bitcoin is especially below 63,500. Again, that is a 618 Fibonacci retracement for this as a greater consolidation right here, which I do believe that it is. And that is certainly concerning. Okay, cool. So we've spoken about all of that. Is there anything else that I'm missing over here on the shorter term timeframes? Not quite. Yeah, Jewel is still not getting its... Jewel is coming down hard, but it's actually lost its downside curvature right there, so that'd be another good thing. I'm curious, what does CME look like? I actually should have been operating off of that chart instead of spot price action, as it is Tuesday. CME is not showing the same sort of bullish divergence actually on our current drive to the downside. What about the daily? Does it have a potentially in there? God damn, that looks ugly. No, it doesn't, in fact. Okay, well, this market's more wrecked than what I thought. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I still do think that it's more likely to bounce here than not. But hey, how many times can Bitcoin come down to $56,000 and play out that same move? I wouldn't think too many more times, to be honest with you. On CME, it's a little bit more clean here as well. Any sort of a 4-hour closure, even above $59,000 would do it for me for getting that next move at minimum to about 61.3 to 61.5. Very likely a short-term pullback there, and then probably continuation to that potential bear trap target. So cool. I think I've just spoken your head off about all of this. I am going to turn on the alerts soon enough. Let's see. Where are we going on right there? All right, sweet. This guy got some goofy hair, says Nathaniel. Hey, thanks for that, man. I appreciate you. You're great community member. Jesus Christ, man. All right, cool. Let me pull it up over here and let's see what we got going on. And oh my God, there is a lot of comments already. I've turned on the alerts now. So the sound should be working over there. We got Joey Burden, and he's sorry, I skipped actually Kathleen White. She's first today. Live from Boston. All right, sweet. Good on her for trying to make you a pumpkin pie. Elsa does not make food. Elsa does not simply make food, Kathleen. She buys food, and unfortunately, there's no pumpkin pies to buy in the whole city of Helsinki. But I do appreciate that. AVAX, please, daily, monthly. Yeah, we can definitely look at this one. This would be a good one to follow up on, as it has been certainly one of the strong. So I am going to probably record a video on this one. Where's my damn AVAX? Where's my damn VAX? Where's my damn VAX? There it is. Found it. 132. All right, how are we doing right here? Starting to show some signs of slowdown here. Here we have Avalanche symbol AVAX versus the dollar, and on our higher term time frame, still looking more or less good here. And I'm not necessarily inclined to say this one's seen its highs for now. The 5-day and weekly are both trending right here, and as Kathleen White has asked for, a monthly. I mean, this is obviously going to be very good coming into December, assuming that we just don't close back down below $100 before then, which we have another just over a week now to go in the trading month. So things are looking good coming into December for new all-time highs. However, could we see a more short-term consolidation and perhaps correction between then? That's definitely possible. However, short-term, we are still within the context of an uptrend, obviously, and that only gets negated with a move back down below about $1.23. It's actually the same level as yesterday, $1.2325 or so. Below there, I do look for a corrective phase short-term to about 114.5 to 115, very likely a bounce there, and then continuation to maybe low $100, as which I would be looking for a nice big bounce around there. That would be like the must bounce area to remain in an upside position for the long term coming into December. Anyways, looking at momentum oscillators over here, we do see 4-hour is showing multiple drives of bearish divergence come off the highs. We do see that 4-hour jewel is getting a downside signature, however, not supported by DMI, so I don't look at this as like a super threatening one, just short-term consolidation. And the short-term consolidation will be resolved. This is not going to be too helpful, but above $145.50, I would be looking for this one to go on for some new highs. In this case, next targeted region to the upside would be about $1.65, just doing some bad mental math right there. I'm sure that it probably does align with one of our long-term fib extensions, which we're starting to run out of them right here. To be fair, we did hit the 2.6 window off this last move, so a lot of the time it is more relevant to be looking for a local high within that region, actually. And we are starting to see some selling pressure on the daily specifically, but I'm not seeing volatility at super high reads just yet. We are getting high, but not super high. I want to see that 95 percentile or more, and also want to see bearish divergence on the daily, of which we will have if we do put in a local high right here. But again, that's going to be running off of that 123.25 region. Below there, I do look for that correction, generally speaking, back down to low 100s. However, there will be bounce along the way at the areas that we were looking at earlier. Looking at momentum oscillators from this angle as well. I'm just curious if this is confluent with what we just spoke about. Weekly turns down below 117, probably not a big threat right now. 5-day 115.5. Daily is turning down right now below 134.25. So it is looking a little more corrective short term. And if I did have to call it, I do think that this is actually putting in a top right here. Not like the macro top for forever, but a top, very likely. And then in December, we probably do try, or AVAX probably does try again to the upside. This is a very strong chart. I mean, there's nothing bearish about this. Of course, on our trending charts over here as well, which I'll just quickly pull up. On a weekly, we are still trending above the top side Toronto band. So my rule is that I treat this as a weekly trend in motion as long as that condition is met. And the next, upside targets, I guess, are going to be, let me actually plot them right here. Okay, let's actually look at the macro ones, because those are, actually, we have not hit anything super concerning on the macro right here. Yeah, the tooth pod extension is kind of big, but it's not like a macro top area. Dare I say it, I'm actually still looking towards about 240 to maybe even $300. Not anytime soon. This would be at earliest late like Q1 of 2022, but I still like this one obviously long term. This is a really, really good chart long term. No matter which time frame you go to, they're pretty much all, well, good, but short term, I do think that it's at best sideways and a bit corrective, and that would confirm a deeper correction on the short and medium term time frames below about $1.2325. Until then, short term, I do think is going to come down here and test around there. Does it actually break? I'll let the price action decide, and then make well, make moves after that, I suppose. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for AVAX, one of the most strong coins that we've seen in really the last few months. And well, still looking very long-term good, just short-term sideways and a bit more corrective. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for AVAX. Nice one. All right, sweet. We got 738 likes on this video right now. This is great. We got almost 1,500 people watching. Holy shit. That is insane, man. That truly is insane. Like, I can't, it's growing so fast that I need to like spend some time meditating on the implications of this. It's overwhelming. Anyways, we got Joey Burden over here. He wants to look at UFO USD if possible, topped or continuation. Okay, so let's pull it up over here. It looks like it's not going to be versus US dollar. We can maybe try versus. I see it is charted versus Ethereum, so we can do that. But unfortunately, we cannot look at it versus the dollar. Very good though on a 4-hour. But you're probably. Okay, you're asking if it's topped or continuation. Well, it depends what time frame you're looking at, obviously. I would not say that this one's like actually topped out on any time frame that matters, meaning a daily, as long as you're below, as long as you're above 68 in this case. Short-term time frames could vary. Well, short-term time frames are actually still good here. This is actually still good. So no, I don't think that it has. I would call a medium-term high below 87, looking for that move towards 68, but I would not call a major high as long as you're above 68 in this case. Looking at a daily right here, you know, yeah, we're going to be creating some divergences at some point, but we're not quite. Oh, dear, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? You know, I think it actually still probably has one more drive here. Daily BBWP is getting up there, but still not 90 percentile. So let's see where we're at in the grand scheme of things, and if this kind of makes sense as a top area. Yeah, we did hit the 1.618. Okay, that is relevant, yes, but I don't think that we're going to see like the massive major top that perhaps you might be looking for there. Long term, you know, maybe like a month or two down the road, probably looking somewhere more around like a 138 to 154 region. Again, this is being charted versus Ethereum, so this just means that it's outpacing Ethereum, and seen as Ethereum is kind of sideways right now, I guess that is probably going to be outpacing the dollar as well. So fair enough. Actually pretty damn good here, to be fair, for this, whatever this thing is. I don't know what it is, but it's good. As far as charts go, it's actually quite good long term. Just be aware of where your pain points are. Below 87, short term and medium term corrections do apply. Until then, short term and very, very likely just trade sideways and up from here. I mean, this is still flagging out and still above all major moving averages, still trending. Let's see. Cooper Bakesmith says, could you run through quickly how to get the Femex bonus, please? I followed the link and can't find where to redeem it. Yeah, I remember you asked the same question yesterday, or at least maybe it was you or someone else. So perhaps it does deserve an explanation. But basically, how do you redeem the 3,600 or so, whatever is deposit bonus for Femex? This is where they get you, man. You actually have to deposit onto their exchange. So you use the link in the description below. It's actually right there near the top, in fact. And then from there, you actually have to deposit. There's no like link within the link that you just to redeem the bonus, you know, for example, like obviously they want you to deposit so that, you know, they can ensure that they're at least going to be making some based off the trading fees. So, you know, be aware of that. You actually have to, you know, deposit into your account and then you get awarded the bonus. And yeah, and if there's any issues with that, I mean, just contact their customer support. I won't be able to do anything for you there, man. But yes, that is the way that I'm aware of that you can actually redeem that for yourself. It also does reduce your trading fees. So there is like some actual, you know, some good things for you as well. I mean, that does just mean more money in your pocket, but they're not super high to begin with, to be fair. And I do believe that you get paid to be a maker there as well. So, you know, if you get hit on your limit orders, you probably get paid. Anyways, Manuel Avina says AMP next. I think we looked at this one yesterday. Wasn't looking too interesting yesterday, but maybe I was on the wrong exchange. We should go to Gemini. Oh my God. Wow. That actually is quite the fucking move there, man. Jesus Christ. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, actually. And I probably was not looking for that to happen last week, or sorry, yesterday. Yeah, this is pretty damn good right here, actually. You got a major daily high or low right there. Tested around your range highs. Just again, is this one in a good posture to actually break it? Actually, it is. We see that volatility is expanding, coming off the 50 percentile region. We see daily RSIs back in the bullish control zone. We even see a nice little trend line right here as well. Dare I say that this one's actually kind of primed. I would like to see it officially close above 7,500 or 75,000. It's 7.5 cents basically. And then yes, I would be looking for a short-term move back around your prior range highs, which would be 9.5 cents. Long-term, I think that you just continue on with a long-term uptrend. This is actually, yeah, this is exactly the area that you wanted to bounce if you are going to be bullish on this thing. Yeah, this is actually good. This is actually quite good. Cool. What's up, Tom Yao? Happy Monday and Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, and to all the people celebrating out there. Could you please take a look at 3 hours and daily for LPT? Thanks, Alyssa and Zur. I am Zur. Alyssa, don't know her. Never heard of her. LPT. All right, LPT over here. this must be a new one as well. I don't think I know this one, or at least it doesn't really ring a bell. And you're looking at a 3 hour. Okay, all right, 3 hour right here. Does look like it's putting in a little bit of a local low right now. Actually, would be looking for this one to rally back up towards 50 to 75 to maybe even $53. But it is a bit range bound. If you do want to look at the greater range right here. Short term, I do think it's basically short term. I think it's got a bouncy bounce. I wouldn't get too excited as long as you're below 57 and a quarter though, and above about 46 and a half until one of those levels is taken out. It's just range bound, but short term is showing a little bit more upside posturing than not. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. What's up, Jack? There he is. AVAX USD 4. We got that one, baby. But I expect, knowing you, Mr. Jack, you probably want to look at Ethereum versus Bitcoins. You know what? Let's go do that over here. And what do we see? Oh man, she's looking good. She's looking powerful. This is very constructive right here. Yet another higher low in the making, it looks like. Do we see anything else that is of interest? BBWP coming off the lows, starting to actually trend to the upside as it does test around the top side of your daily range at 7.4 million Satoshis. Dare I say it's probably going to break it, probably even this week. And the weekly looks really, really good to me. I do think that this one is gearing up for a move towards your prior range highs on the greater scale at about 7.7 to 7.8 million Satoshis. And long term, you probably already know my thoughts on that. I released a video on this one over the weekend, and it's moving like molasses. It's moving very, very slow, but this is very good long term, and one of the more interesting charts versus Bitcoin, in my opinion. Raj Nali, there's probably a lot of interesting charts versus Bitcoin. It's just the only one that I'm aware of because I don't really look at too many of them. ALBT says Raj Nali. Yep, we can look at this one. Remember, you've requested this one in the past. Let's see what it's doing nowadays. I think last time we looked at it, it was ranging, but range is good for the boo laws. Let's see if it held up well during this last downside move for Bitcoin. Relatively speaking, yes, okay, as long as you are, again, within this range right here. That is good for the boo laws, but can't get excited as long as you're below about 118. So, and it would be bad for the boo laws below about 71 cents or 71 and a half cents. But until then, I'm kind of looking at this one similar to what we just saw in AMP, actually, where you see something like this. Let me actually, where's my damn paintbrush? All right, we're going to do some bullshit over here. Something like this, maybe sets in a higher low and then gives another try to the upside. Above this region right here, this thing will actually run quite a fair bit. This is actually kind of good for an altcoin, which is rather interesting. Don't know what the hell this thing is. Don't know what the hell this thing does, but it's okay. You all right over there? You all right over there? You having a good time, or? What's up, Jack? What's up, Christina? What's up, Arbiter? Good morning to you. I see you over there. Oh, by the way, I should let you know, if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel here, meaning that on the actual YouTube video itself, you see that little subscribe or whatever it is, I did upload a TA 101 playlist for you that's different than anything else on this channel, just as a thank you, and you can go enjoy it at any moment in time. It's structured in the way that I kind of want to learn trading myself if I was starting over today. So hopefully that was valuable to anyone who's actually already seen it. And if you haven't already seen it but you are subscribed to this channel, go check it out. All right, cool. He sounds gay though, bro. I just want confirmation. Oh man, do you want to get gay with me, bro? What is this fucking grinder? Anyways, Bullfrog Fire says great work as usual. Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Man, we got a lot. Jesus Christ. What's up, Philson? I see you over there as well. I see you, brother. Let's see. Tom Yao says bing, bing, bing. No bell, sir. Could you take a look at ENJ on the daily and 3 hours? Sure, man. Sure. Reminds me of Sacred. Hey, bro, are you gay? Just wondering, bro. Gay as fuck, man. Gay as fuck. Would you like to date? Where does that conversation go? I don't know. Very good for ENJ. Very, very good, actually. I was not expecting this at all, but I guess, actually, no, the last time we did look at this one was good. This one was quite good, in fact. So what do we expect to see right here? Well, volatility, again, expanding. What do we have right here? Another higher low. All momentum oscillators are showing bullish continuation. Probably looking towards $4, $4+. Next major area to want to be aware of to the upside would be about 435 to 440-ish region, and I would be looking for a pullback off of that region. This is quite good. Another altcoin that is doing something completely different than Bitcoin and looking good, looking quite good, actually. I'm generally bullish on this one. Weekly Jewel actually got a really nice low right here as well. So I still look at that signal as actionable and continuing onwards and forwards there. Not bad. Of course, there does need to be an invalidation on a setup like this, and that would be very easily below actually yesterday's low. I would look for a correction down to about 260 or so after that. Wouldn't necessarily make it bearish long term, but more corrective short term in that case. Snack says, hello, sir. GLCH USD 12 hour and 2 day. Okay, so this is Avegachi, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like a gaming token or something like that. You're looking at a 2-day and a 12-hour. Okay, not really getting much from a 2-day. 12-hour. This one is looking corrective at best right here, in my opinion. However, short term, I do think that it does pop back up to the top side of your of your range, your more 12-hour range in this case. That would be about 213 or so, anywhere around there. I think 191 is rather likely in the short term. I'd really only get bearish on this one and calling like a top here if you do close below about 157.5. And at that point, I'd be looking for a general sideways and downside move towards a buck and a quarter, maybe even lower than that over time towards $1 even. But for right now, also in between this region right here, technically speaking, I should be bullish on that. I mean, I guess there's not really any reason not to be, but this one does look like it's probably seen its highs for a while, to be quite fair. Anyways, BBWP at the highs right here. You know, this is kind of a toppy signal right now, and of course, daily RSI also showing a little bit more toppy-ish behavior. So I would be looking for a bounce within this region, but as long as you are operating below about $2.50, probably would be looking for this one to, well, corrective at best. I'll put it that way. But again, but above $2.50, yeah, I guess new all-time highs and continue on with the party right there. Not bad, man, not bad. Anyways, Rishab says, "Yo, don't need any chart. Just wanted to, hey man, thank you. Thank you a lot for that, man. I appreciate that a lot, man. Yeah, you know, these videos, I always want to say, you know, I'm glad that you get those sentiments from them, but at the same time, like, understand it is a selfish endeavor. I mean, obviously there's like finances involved with the channel like this, but more importantly, man, like, I need something to do during my day, and also in a more practical sense, and I always need to repeat this because I think it's important to repeat, is, you know, my whole life's view is selfish altruism. And one of the things that I really got from this channel was when I was starting to look at analysis for other people, looking at all these, you know, wide array of different coins and whatnot, it gave me a greater understanding, one, of the market, and then two, because I was getting more iterations of practice, my actual trading has gotten better since I started this channel. And I would say significantly so, because even, you know, like a 10% increase in hit rate, or even like a 3% increase in hit rate over a long period of time, that adds up to a lot. So, you know, I'm glad that it's a mutual exchange, and that's really fucking awesome, man. And thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Gemini Athlete says CRV, full hour and daily and 2-day. Okay, so this is the reward token for one of these damn staking thingies. And what do we see over here? Still very, very good, man. I actually really quite like this one. We can record this one too. Here we have Curve, symbol CRV versus the dollar. And we've been looking at this one for the past week or so. It's just now looking to complete its nice little falling channel over here after breaking above its prior macro range highs. Elsa, stop laughing, please. And what do we see as far as this goes? Well, we actually do have a short-term technical target based off of the break of this. Would like to see it above $4.50 in this case. And then I would be looking for extension all the way up to 540 short term. I would be looking for a pullback from there, and then very likely does set it up for a more prolonged move up to the 1.618, also in line with your flag formation target here, which is 660 to 669, which is a great number right there. Long term can continue from there. You know, obviously, you know, potentially yes, but I want to see that hit first and foremost, right? As far as higher term timeframes go, it's good. Let me just double check what timeframes you're looking at. 4 hour. Let's go down to a 4 hour as well here. 4 hour looks fine as well, but I would invalidate this setup. I would invalidate this setup below 410. Below 410, that's where it gets invalidated. Until then, this one actually looks quite good. I mean, if you're just looking at the crown cross strategy, like, this is about as perfect as it gets. Hidden bullish evidence, low volatility, higher low on a 55. Need I say more? It's good. Let's just double check it over here just to see if this is supporting it, because that would make it even a little bit more obvious in my opinion. But yeah, daily Stokes freshly up as long as as long as we're above 392. Weekly is going to turn back above $5 or so probably not applicable right now. 4 hour is crisscross down below about 448. So very, very short term, a little bit of sideways, but medium and higher term timeframes are looking, you know, more or less good here, at least in my opinion. Be aware of where the invalidation is, but this one showing some pretty interesting signals actually. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go. All right, nice one. Okay, cool. Gemini Athlete also wants to look at Matic 4 hour and 12 hour. Okay, so it's Polygon over here. Let's see, where's this one? It's still holding on to that prize 155 region. Wait, wrong chart. Let's go to this one right here. Okay, nice one. And let's see. Yeah, I think it is actually still holding on to this region. Jesus Christ, man. This is the hopium right now. This is the hopium, but man, it is getting close right there. I know you asked for a 12-hour and a 4-hour. This is a daily. Do we see anything? I mean, we do see that some hidden bullish divergence is starting to populate itself, so that would actually be a good signal. But similar to Bitcoin, right? I do think that you have a bear trap set up right here. The bear trap gets confirmed back up about 168 in this case. You know, maybe I should record a video on this one because this one probably does actually put in the bear trap. All right, here we have Matic versus the dollar. We haven't followed up on Polygon in a while now, and this one's still kind of holding on to the hopium line of hopium, I suppose. And while that does imply that if we do see a lower low closing below about 150, this one will fall apart and be invalidated all the way down to, you know, 130 to 1.25 minimum over time. For right now, we actually do have a bit of a bear trap setup right here. So we do have hidden bullish evidence formulating on the daily, and we do see that we have a bit of a short-term range high right here from yesterday's rejection at about 168. Above there, I would confirm a bear trap, and I would be looking for this one to work its way back up towards 185 to 190 or so, somewhere right around here at minimum. And this is going to start to look really good for the long term because it would imply that it's still kind of running off this, and this would be a reaccumulation formation over a very long period of time on low volatility. So we would have, you know, a higher low yet again on the weekly, I'm guessing. Let's just double check right here. Yeah, we would. So that would be good, obviously. 5-day, same thing, and a little bit more obvious on a 5-day as well. So be aware of where the invalidation is because this one's at like a major precipice. Personally speaking, that's actually where I think the most opportunity is. And if we go over here to momentum also to see if they support that, yeah, daily Stokes will be remaining with upside posture as long as above 150. So that is a good pivoted area because below there, very likely a big downside move. 5-day, what do we see? Heavy down below 190, not great. Weekly, same thing. So a little bit more hopium right there. 4 hours crossing back up above 155. So I would give it a chance right here. Again, be aware of the validation of a bear trap. That's going to be above about 160. If you're looking at a closing base, about 160. Let's actually go down to a 4 hour. Above about 166 on a 4 hour would do it, or just a wick higher than what you saw on the 20th of November would do it for me as well. Until then, you know, technically speaking, it's more downside angled, but I do think that there is a possibility of that. That would be my confirmation of it, and hopefully that was helpful for Polygon Matic, sir. EMCD says PYR 2 hour and daily. Sure, man. So we looked at this one last week, and I remember it was good, and I think we looked at it yesterday again as well, and it was still good, and it's still good. Whatever the fuck this thing is, good. Don't know what the hell this thing is, but anyways, you're looking at a 2 hour and a daily. Daily is still very, very good as long as you're above about $21.50. Looking at daily RSI, just breaking back into the bullish control zone right here, very strong. Daily BBWP is expanding. Daily Jewel is still up. You asked for a 4 hour or 2 hour. Both of them are trending. You know, it'd be invalidated below about $25, but very good chart right here. Very good chart, actually. So I'd probably be looking for this one to make one more move to the upside before a greater correction. I don't have targets, however, on something like this. It's a little bit too new, and I don't really trust it all that much. So if it does hit the invalidation, it's probably going to get absolutely shattered. But for now, I'm still looking up, man. Still good. Let's see. What's up, Rocky G? Hope you've been well as well, fam. Hello, fam. Oh, you're married. Holy shit. And ready to get back into the market. What the fuck? A nice fresh Lego. My fucking man. Good to see you back, man. And congratulations. That's cool. Sounds like you've had a nice little time away, which probably a good time to be taking some time away too. Awesome, man. MM says, would you take a look at Dora Factory? Ticker would be great because all right, this thing. Oh my God, it's fucking crypto. All right, well, it's actually good. I do think it's coming into a local high relatively soon. We're getting pretty high on daily BBWP. We actually are at 95 percentile. And do we have potential bearish divergence in the making? Actually, no, we are making new highs on daily RSI. All right, I guess it's probably got at least one more high to go. 4 hour, what do we see right here? Any bearish divergence yet? Yeah, a little bit, but not damning. I can't really be bearish on this one, looking for like a major high as long as you're especially above about 20.25, below 20.25. Yeah, I would call a major high right here. Until then, I should probably be looking for new all-time highs coming into like the next week or two, or sorry, not the next week or two, but the next like few days. Looking at moves towards low 30s, and that's look, it's kind of calling like a humongous move right there. I don't know how much I trust that, but that'll be the next areas of interest between about 29 and 31 for what it's worth. I do think this one's a lot closer to a major high than not, however. Just be aware of where the invalidation is, because if that gets hit, I'd be very much willing to call a major high right here. We are seeing pretty extreme conditions amongst most things, but it does look like it might have one more drive there. Hopefully that's helpful for Dora Factory, which, yeah, I've never heard of this one, and I mean, to be fair, like, this is not a bad chart. It's actually quite good, especially all things considered. Like, it's rallying while Bitcoin's not. That's usually a good sign. Damo says, good day, Tiger. Good day, Mr. Damo. Matic USD. Yep, we just got that one, sir. I did not look at the 1 week or the monthly. We can just briefly look at the monthly. I don't know if that one has a monthly. Let's see. Do we have the history there? Kind of. Not great, but kind of. Monthly is actually still good long term. I would still have to be bullish on this one long term, man. As long as above all major moving averages, I am going to be bullish on that. And it did close on new all-time highs last month. So this is a monthly consolidation that kind of plays into my theory that we might be seeing a bit of a bear trap right here. Again, be aware of the validation conditions, but it is a setup there, certainly. Let's see. Tom, yeah. Oh, nope. Whoops. Just skipped JT32. MST. You want to look at MicroStrategy, please, Simpson version. That would be me, yes, sir. MSTR. All right. Actually, I have this one on my list. Don't need to type it in, but breakdown right there and quite nasty indeed. Is it in a short-term bouncy area? Yes, but yeah, you want a daily and weekly. I do expect that this one could very easily come down to about $600 even. Long-term, I'm still going to like this chart. Yeah, I mean, coming down to like 635 would actually be an opportunity, at least in my book. Daily, what do we see right here? Breakdown, again, probably going to bounce first before any continuation. If Bitcoin bounces well and puts in its bear trap, then you probably see this thing back around about 780 to 790 first before anything else. And I do think that this one's more likely to bounce short term, but yeah, fair enough. Short-term bouncy, I don't think that this one's ready to like trend this month, however, to be fair. But long term, this is still pretty good on a monthly, to be fair. So I want to be very, clear with what sort of time frame I'm looking at, because this is obviously good long term. Short term, a little bit less inspiring after a bit of a bouncy bounce. Cool. Tom Yao says, could you take a look at ENS on the 1 and 3 hour, please? Sure. Okay, ENS. This is Ethereum name service, which I think we saw for the first time last week. I guess we go to Binance. Okay, barely been around. You're looking at a 1 and 3 hour though, so probably won't be too big of a deal then. You do have a nice higher low right here, and it does look like a little bit of a short-term reversal. I would be concerned maybe we have some hidden bearish divergence right there. No, we do not actually, so that's okay. Look, I shouldn't be bullish on something that looks like this right here, but it is a crypto after all, and probably is likely to pull through. I'd like to see it actually close an hourly dildo back above about 44.5 bucks, and then yes, I would be looking for this one to work its way up towards 48 to $50, somewhere around here. Above $50, that's where things get a lot more interesting on this one. Same thing with the 3 hour time frame. I do think this one's more likely to rally up from here. I do think that's putting in a local low for what it's worth. Obviously invalidation is going to be below about 48 and a quarter, but for right now, I'd actually be looking sideways and up right there. It's actually okay. Ryan Gibson, man, like all of these new tokens. Ryan Gibson says Gala 1 hour and 4 hour and daily possible buy opportunity. Well, maybe on one of the time frames. I don't know about all of them. And also, I don't know, some people scalp, some people are trend trading, some people are holding this for 5 years, some people are holding this for 5 minutes. It's very difficult to say, sir. Very difficult to say. Anyways, is there a possible buy opportunity? I mean, the possible buy opportunity. You really want to be, well. Okay, if you're bullish on this thing, you're looking at this as an ascending triangle. You're looking at this as a higher low, which we do have hidden bullish divergence right there, and that would be supportive of that. This is a fucking hourly though. However, 4 hour is not as immediately bullish, but I can tell you where to get excited about this thing very easily above about 41.5 cents. Above there, yeah, I look for this one to retest prior highs and probably continues trending to the upside. But if I'm looking at the daily, this one's getting quite close to a major high. I do think, extreme conditions over here. Yes, it's very new, so I don't trust it as much. In daily RSI, getting up to a 91.5. This one probably goes for one more new high, and then actually confirms that bearish divergence, and then comes back down. But for right now, I guess I'd still be a little bit more on the Boolah side. I would invalidate all of this and look for some nice downside action to about 28 cents below 35 cents on a 4 hour closure in that case. Cool. That's pretty awesome mission control. I do appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that, man. It's cool to think about. I don't want to let it get too much to my ego, but then again, we got people to bounce it over here asking how gay I am. So fair enough. I'm quite gay for TA though. So there you fucking go, man. I do appreciate that though, man. That's and nice. You have elite. It's elite right there. Sweet. I am a nerd after all. Anyways. Gay as fuck for TA, man. Blockchain Barber says, hello, sir. Hello, sir. Love this channel so much. Thank you, man. I have red balls even crazier than blue balls. What does that mean? I think you should probably see a doctor at that point, man. Like, that could be, you know, threatening to your nutsack health. Anyways, OMG, LRC 4 hour, 12 hour, and 6 hour. Gotcha. And yeah, the moon charts. I think the moons are starting to not work as much anymore, those bastards. But I do understand, because I actually did speak to one of the witches there, that the moons, this past moon, if you believe in them, was what's known as like a blood moon. So I think that name is self-explanatory. Anyways, LRC doing something interesting right here, actually. Putting in a bit of a local low. I do think that's going to short-term work its way back up towards about $2.90, $3 or so. It's actually okay right here. Putting in a local low. Yeah, I do think that this one tries an upside move somewhere around a low $3. 12 hour, fine. Hidden bullish evidence on that last low. Yeah. I actually treat this as a local low, especially as long as you're above the last 12 hour higher low, which is 233. What are the time frames we're looking at? 4 hour, 6 hour? 4 hour, same thing. Actually quite good right here. Breaking above the trend line. Not that I care too much about those, but in this case, it actually does work. 6 hour, same thing. Yeah. I'd be looking for another try to the upside here. I would still be cognizant that this one probably has topped out for a while, as long as it's not gonna be helpful, but as long as you're below about 350 above there, yeah, this thing can go on a run towards $5 plus. But until then, short term, yeah, I do respect the upside here. I do respect short term upside there. Cool. Mr. Al-Masari says Quant USD 4 hour and daily. Sure. So this is symbol QNT, I believe. Yeah. Okay. And we go to KuCoin for this one, I believe. Yeah. This one's not looking too hot right here either. Yeah. Not droopy. Looks like Cardano, but short term bouncy and probably does try another move to the upside. I do think this one actually will come back up and fill that wick at about 265 to 270-ish region. Daily. What do we see right here? Daily's hard to love right now, but I do think that you have some short-term upside at the minimum. I'd get excited about this thing back up about 312.5. 312.5 is kind of where I'd be looking towards. Until then, you know, short-term does have some upside, but not the greatest right there. Fuck, I forgot my. Hey baby, could you fill me up some water? Fill me up some water, please. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Kyra Man says, good morning. Hey, good morning to you as well, man. Could you please check out Stars USD 4 hour and daily? Okay, got you right here. Okay, that's pointing those. What did you do? See, those nails are a liability. Okay, Stars USD. Okay. Okay, it's on TradingView. It's on FTX. Can't be that. This one is fucking launching, man. Holy shit. What the hell? What the actual hell? Powerful. Not much of a, not enough history really to be going off of here, and I do think you're going to be coming into like an hourly local high very soon. I mean, extreme conditions right here. Bearish evidence is already popping in. You got 1, 2, 3. Probably is one more small try here. Thank you, sir. And then I think that this one corrects back down to like 1420 or so. Daily, I don't have an opinion on the daily, man. It's too new. Obviously, this is good. Like it's way better to be going up than down. Short term, I do think it's probably a little bit more on the corrective side, but 4 hours still good. I think it's a little bit too new for me to really do anything with. Long term, I mean, this is going to be, well, long term for the daily history that we have. This is good. I just don't really have much to make out of this. So like, I can't really come up with areas of interest. Can't really come up with, you know, structure or anything like that. It's looks like it has one more grind to the upside, and then probably puts in a bit of a local high, because we are getting really extreme over here on the hourly. But I guess that would imply at least one more new high before that. I'm going to take a sippy sip on this. It's good. It's real good. Let's see. Elliot Diggs says, fellow caveman, wrecked on Matic since 190. Hope. Yeah, so we spoke about this one earlier. The hopium on this one is that you are going through a much more prolonged, where the fuck was this one? Correction. I believe I recorded a video on this one too. So I'll go through that in detail in the video, which I'll upload later. But you know, the hopium is that you're doing something like this. And I do think that at minimum, you will bounce around here. And, you know, if you do complete the bear trap, then you probably test around your entry, actually 190. You know, still, like the long-term time frames are actually still quite good on this one, to be quite honest with you. I mean, the monthly is not bearish. The bi-monthly is also not bearish. And the quarterly is, well, doesn't really have much history there. But I'm not really inclined to be bearish on a chart like this, to be honest with you. Yeah, it is more corrective right here, but I'm just not looking for like the big meltdown, and it doesn't really lose that structure on the very high term time frame as long as you're above about 150 on a daily. So I actually do think that it'll have a chance right there, but it's not strong enough to move on its own. So if Bitcoin essentially completes its bear trap, which I would say is completed above, especially yesterday's spike high at about 59.5, then you're probably gonna see Matic pull through towards those targets. Let's see, BK wants to look at CVX, so this is convex. So we looked at curve, this is convex. I think they're somewhat similar, but let's see how the charts are. And well, not great charts over here, I would say. Yeah. Okay, so this is as close as we can get. All right. Yeah, not good, man. I mean, obviously this thing barely has any history on Poloniex, and it's been around for like, it's been trading there for like, I guess a week, a little bit over a week now. Let me actually turn down the volume right there. It's rather loud, quite loud. Maybe there's something else that we could pull it up against, like Ethereum perhaps, or it's got to be something else. There we go. Does look like it's getting ready for a nice bouncy move, but I'm not a big fan of this chart long term, to be fair. Yeah, very likely bounces here. Very likely bounces significantly. I think that this thing could bounce up towards 0.00665 region over the next week or two, but below 0.0048, very bad, very bad. Until then, short-term bouncy. If it can reclaim long-term above 7.5 region versus Ethereum, that would be a good continuation signal. Until then, I think it's bouncy and then rangy at best. And welcome to the cave. Welcome to the cave, Mr. Slagathor? Slagathor? Nice name, man. Rolls off the tongue. Nimbo says, Krown, can you please draw in Voodoo, head and shoulders, 12-hour, neck around 57, 58? What is your measure move played out? Let's see. Okay, so let's go to my bearish chart over here. Okay, you're looking at a 12-hour head and shoulders. Let's see. Do I see it? You're talking about this right here? That'd be one Quasimodo looking fuck. I mean, I can do it, but this is like not really real. But yeah, it would be pointing down towards, you know, that I guess that targeted region over here, long term. If we were to pull this out, I mean, I guess it is there. I don't know if I trust that much, but I guess, I mean, confluence is confluence, even if you make it work, right? But yeah, man, well, fair enough. I guess it is there as long as you're below that, what would be your right shoulder in this case. That's just, usually you don't want to see it that slanted, but I don't know. Crypto sometimes is weird in that case. Again, that would be obviously negated back above about $60,000 or 59.5 in my opinion. But fair enough. I guess it's somewhat interesting. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, sir. And those damn moons are at it again. Seth Roselt says, "Hey, bro, may you check out Polka Markets." And just one, man. We can only do one at a time. We got a lot of people here, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but unfortunately, we can't do like a million requests per one person. Let's see. Polka Markets. You know, a ticker would be like significantly more helpful. Polka Markets. All right, so I'll try to. All right, so this thing. What are we gonna pull up over here? Not great, but it is short-term bouncy. Daily and weekly. Daily probably has a short-term bounce back up to like 110, 113. I'd get very bearish on this thing with the daily closure below 95 cents. Until then, I'm looking for a bounce. Weekly, not great. Yeah, not great here, but I do think it's going to bounce first before anything else. Below 95 cents, I look for this thing to fall apart. Until then, I guess it has a chance. I'd get bullish on it again back above your 15th of November spike high, which is 163. Until then, short-term bouncy, then rangy at best. If you can clear that level, then I guess I'd get bullish on it again. Until then, probably be more in the defensive myself. Dave Sanclair says, can you explain the Stoke RSI indicator? There is the stock RSI indicator. No, I do not use stochastic RSI, sir. Just an RSI indicator over here. Can I explain it? It's an indicator that essentially plots out divergences, both hidden and regular. You also find some like interesting things alongside this as well, because it doesn't necessarily give you like, your regular ones, because this right here should not be counted as divergence, but as you can see on the chart, it actually works out. So to me, it's actually like kind of interesting. Like, I've been using RSI for more than 10 years now, and then Caretaker comes out with this damn indicator, and it's like, what the fuck? I thought I knew everything, but I don't. I certainly don't. And then it has an info box over here that basically tells you what price would be needed in order to get into specific areas of the RSI chart. So yeah, and how to find it on TradingView, you can find it on TradingView, but you won't be able to use it on TradingView. You can only access it through the Krown trading application. So it is on sale right now too. I should let you know, but you know, again, make sure that you watch the promotional video that comes alongside of it. Look, there's no magic indicator out there in any land that I'm aware of. If you're not already successful with trading, getting this magical indicator right here or the jewel, both indicators which I love and are a humongous portion of my strategies, they're not going to magically make you profitable. You have to already understand how trade setups work. You have to understand how probabilities and statistics work. You have to fucking backtest your own strategy as well. So I do want to be very direct with saying that, because I don't want people to like rush into something like that thinking that it's like, you know, some sort of a magic pill. It's not. Nothing is. Unfortunately, hard work is the only magic pill that you will have access to in this life, but anyone can access it at any time. You don't need me. Ebeka 13 says, Gitcoin and engine again. Just one, please. Just one, please. But thank you, man. That's cool. You seem like the cool Uncle Krown. That's concerning. But we can look at, I think we already looked at ENJ, so we'll look at Gitcoin. It's like some sort of redneck coin or something. Gitcoin, GTC. Okay. I guess it is bouncy here. Not a big fan of this long-term chart. Not that we really have a long-term chart here, but I suppose it is more bouncy. I wouldn't necessarily get like bearish on it as long as you're above 713 on a daily. 4 hours, yeah, probably going to bounce back up towards $9.25, maybe even $9.50. But I wouldn't necessarily get like bullish on this thing, looking for a retest of your highs and new all-time highs as long as you're below 10.5 on a 4-hour closure. Until then, short-term bouncy, and then at best ranging, in my opinion. Andy Surfer, welcome to the cave as well, sir. And David Espinoza. Jesse LaJolie says Mana USD 4-hour, hourly, and 4-hour. Yep, let's get on this one. Decentraland. Everyone loves Decentraland because it's the new metaverse and all that good stuff. And for good reason over here. This one's looking for continuation. All right, here we have Decentraland, symbol MANA versus the dollar, and I want to follow up on this one from yesterday, and we have still continuation in mind here. Did hold our 4-hour lows good at $3.50 or $3.63 if you want to be exact. So that is the invalidation going onwards and forwards from here. We do have a measured move from our prior range, and that is in line with our 2-spot 414 extension at about just under $5, anywhere between there and about 510 or so is kind of where I'm looking for on this next move. I would be looking for a local high around there, not necessarily calling like the major macro high just yet. We're getting close. Obviously, I mean, daily BBWP is hitting extremes, and you know, we are starting to get some bearish divergence over here on the daily as well. So I do think this one's got one more move to the upside at minimum, and then very likely does put in a nice short-term high. Wouldn't call it a macro high. Obviously, all higher-term timeframes are still massively bullish here. This monthly is very, very good coming to the end of the month, and I imagine that we're probably also looking okay from a Stoke perspective over here. 4-hour is erect as fuck above 380. Okay, nice. Daily is also erect above 394. Also good. Weekly is freshly crossing above 260. That actually says we might have a lot more new highs before this one actually does go for a prolonged correction. All higher time frames on this one are still very much bullish. So I don't call any major highs here, especially as long as you're above the last low, which is 465. On a 4-hour. Until then, this one's looking up pretty much on all time frames, trending right here, volatility increasing daily. Has me a little more concerned, but I do think that you got at least one more high here, and then we'll come back to it after that. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Decentraland. Nice one, man. Cool. Let's see. 2 dudes, 1 stick says, may I get your opinion on? Yeah, let's do some Forex, man. Fuck yeah. I actually really like to look at Forex because it's rather unique, but Aussie dollar versus US dollar, I'm going to imagine that the Aussie dollar is getting absolutely fucking shreked, which Empire is probably happy about. Let's see, 1 hour and 4 hour. Okay. All right, 4 hour over here. Wrecked, but looking for a bounce relatively soon. I'd say somewhere down around about 72 cents or just below 72 cents square. I look for on a bit of a 4-hour bounce. Hourly is wrecked as fuck as well. I mean, it's going to be creating some bullish divergence very, very soon here, so it really wouldn't take too much to get this thing on a bounce, but it's very, very ugly. If you and to be fair, falling wedges actually do work okay in Forex land. You do have one formulating right here, but it can get walked down a little bit more before you get the bounce, and then, you know, probably going to bounce rather significantly, maybe up to like 72.5 to 73 cents. But first things first, I do think it has maybe a few more lows to go, and then you see it. But even on the 4-hour, you're getting some bullish divergence right here. Daily, not quite on the daily just yet. This one's very ugly on the higher term time frames, actually. Very fucking ugly on the higher term time frames. Holy shit, that is awful. Wow. That is really, really bad. Oh my God, that is just absolutely fucking wrecked. Wow, if you're living in Australia, holy shit, what are they doing to your currency? What are they doing to your currency? maybe it's just the dollar is too strong. That tapering talk, people love it. Just wait till they hear about interest rates. Let's see. Talix here says, bruh. Hello, bruh. How are we looking on EXRD versus the dollar? Okay, EXRD. Did we look at this one yesterday for you? Radix? Oh my God. Well, it's looking really good on a monthly. But you're asking about a what? You're asking about a 4-hour daily, weekly. Weekly, not much to make out of right there. Daily, I do think it is consolidating around the highs, obviously, but I don't call a breakdown as long as you're above the range lows, which is 37 cent. Below 37 cent, I do look for a correction down to, 28, 29 cents. Very likely to bounce there. Until then, sideways here is good for the BULAs, but I don't get excited for a big move to the upside as long as you're closing dailies below 51.75. 4-hour, same thing. Short term shows some downside, back down to like 40 cents or so. I wouldn't call that a breakdown, however, just ranging for now. But short term is down, at least as far as what I'm looking at. And what's up, Carl Riley? Welcome to the cave as well, sir. Mr. Mark Hutchins says, mute on the daily. All love indeed. MUTE. Okay. All right. I guess his first is Ethereum only, but oh man, yeah, these charts always throw me for a loop. It's like, what the fuck do you make out of this? Volatility very, very low at the highs right here. It is still holding its higher lows, so can't hate that, obviously. Does it go through a little bit more of a correction first, though, is a real question. And I always get thrown off by these charts because, like, they don't trade that much. Look, I mean, this is a 4-hour, and you're seeing, like, gaps on a 4-hour. Like, that just shows that people don't really trade this thing too much. But I suppose if you put a gun to my head, I would do something like this. I mean, I can't hate it as long as it's doing this. But that does imply that if you do get a 4-hour closure below, like, what the fuck is this number, man? Let's just say 304,000. Is that right? Or is that 3,046,000? Whatever it is. This local low right here, below there, bad. Until then, technically speaking, this should be good. I wouldn't get too excited until you actually take out your 368 or 369 highs. And then, yeah, volatility expansion to the upside is going to be, well, fucking massive new highs, I guess, in this one, because you're seeing the same thing on the daily as well. You're at macro highs already, so it'd be blue sky breakout. Personally speaking, I do think that this one actually corrects further south first, just below, what is that, 3 million butyrols or whatever. I don't know. But I suppose the setup is there for the short term. Just be aware, I suppose. I don't really feel too strong about that one, and I want to be very straight shooting about that. Lol A says TA for gray metaverse. Okay. Time frame, sir. Time frame for gray metaverse, sir. This thing. All right. You asked for it, not me. Good. Actually good. Actually pretty damn good here. Don't know what time frames you're on. Short term, I do think that it pulls back at minimum 7, whatever that number is, which is, oh God, it's one of these charts. I do think it's going to pull back short term. I don't know if that's relevant to you or not. Daily still good. Trend continuation above 11. There's no targets on something like this. Way too fucking new. Who knows what the hell this thing is or what it does, but it is bullish for now. If this even is the right thing. But this is versus Ethereum, so this is not versus the dollar, so unfortunately we do not have access to that on TradingView. Is Bitcoin going to break down here? Don't do it, Bitcoin. Don't do it. No, Bitcoin's still within the blue box territory of destiny. Let's see. Darren Garish says sandbox 4-hour and 12-hour. Sure, man. Do the Hulk dicks continue? Do the Hulk dicks continue? Let's see. I don't know. This one was one of the really big winners from the last couple of weeks, and wow, still fucking going here too, man. Wow. Looks like it hit our target as well. How many videos do I have for today? Maybe we already got too many. Let's see. We could maybe afford to do one more. Yeah. Well, I don't think I want to do one on this one because I do think that this one has some new highs to go through, man. I do think it's getting very close here, though. Let's just do it. Here we have sandbox symbol SAND versus the dollar, and we have hit our target from the last time we looked at this, which was, I guess, at least a week and a half ago right here. And we have continuation on top of that, just another higher low. So we do have an invalidation on short-term bullishness, and that's going to very easily be below $4, which is really far away from where we're at right now. So it's not all that helpful. And this one is entering into extreme areas. We'd hit 100% on BBWP over here, where we're rapidly approaching it yet again, and we will be creating some bearish evidence on the daily on the next confirmed local high. However, is this a confirmed local high right now? No, it's actually continuation. 4 hours continuing to trend. And so I'm looking for new highs, I guess, again, until we see something like that. So let's see. where would I be looking for? I suppose this thing could hit into the $6 region before the next sort of potential major correction in this case. I'm curious to see what we look like over here as well. I mentioned this one's like really in extreme conditions right now, but so really wouldn't take too much for this one to correct, but weekly still very healthy, above $3. Oh my God, above $3. Daily is up above $5. Okay, full hour is vertical above 430. Yeah, I'm probably looking for this one to continue. I guess $6, anywhere between there and $7 is, you know, some pretty major toppy areas. So I would be cognizant of that. But for now, short term, I am looking for continuation here. I don't think that this one's done just yet. I only think that I would only call this one done if this one does trade back down below $4. Until then, I'm looking for some more up and to the right action, even though this one is very extreme right here, but I'm not seeing exactly what I want to see on a major macro high just yet. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Sand Sir. Cool. Hey, what's up, Tor? Good morning to you, man. Hey, thank you. And just another nice positive message. I appreciate that, man. I very much appreciate that. Carl Riley says XPR Proton daily weekly. Sure. XPR. Okay. All right. Okay. KuCoin. Don't know how much of a weekly it's going to be, but the daily's okay as far as history goes. I would call a breakdown here and like a big breakdown here very soon if it does close a daily below basically 2570. Below 2570, this thing's going to get absolutely shattered, man. 0.0175 regions where I'd be looking towards long term. Until then, I'd give it a chance to bounce here, kind of similar to Bitcoin. You know, this one doesn't necessarily have like a bear trap in the making here, but you do have a bit of a range going on. And personally speaking, you're probably making, I'm going to guess that you're probably making some bullish evidence. Yes, you are right now. Just need to confirm it. You will confirm it with a 4-hour closure back above about 2835 to be exact. And then I'd be looking for move back to the median of your range somewhere just above 3 cent. In that case, that would, you know, keep the hopium alive. But again, below 2.7 cent. I do look for this one to go for a nice big downside move. Weekly, I'm not getting much off of that. So yeah, 12-hour does look like continuation of the downside for what it's worth, but I'd give it a chance first. You know, if you do close the 12-hour below that level, I do think that it is front runnable and, you know, at least to move down to 2.1 cent. Personally speaking, I do think that you come down below 2 cents. If that condition were to be met. Michael Ellis says, hey, Krown, can you check out FTM for long term? Sure. This is Phantom over here. This one went on its own major tear run in October, I think it was. Now not doing much. Again, you know, kind of has a similar setup to Bitcoin in the sense that you do have a potential bear trap in the making here, but won't be confirmed until you get back up about 2.25. 4-hour time frame does look like you want to test around there. Yes, you are actually putting a bit of a higher low right here, and dare I say, this one probably actually does put in a bit of a bear trap above 2.25. I do look for this one to reclaim your prior range highs at about 260 to 265 region. Long term, as you requested, I would not get excited about this one for major new highs as long as you're below 312. Above there, yep, obviously, you know, probably looking at like $5 or more. But I think that this one's really topped out for a while, to be honest with you, man, and ranging at best right here. With short-term bounce implied. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing in like a month down around a buck 50, maybe even a buck even, but that would actually be a really good opportunity long-term, in my opinion, at least for me. Until then, you know, what do you have right here? You got bearish evidence on a weekly. You're probably going to put in a right shoulder of your head and shoulders on the weekly RSI. Like, I'm not a big fan of it on the weekly here, although I do think that short-term it is bouncy, but you did ask for long-term specifically. I'd still say that this one's at best range bound as long as you're below on a weekly closure about 285 or a daily above about 312. And then, yeah, I guess I'd be looking for the next big move, but I don't think it's that likely right now. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Luke Doyle says, with the Krown's trading Stokes, it seems like waiting for the 2 Stokes to meet in a critical zone. I'm trying to catch a reversal. No, you need to. I'm going to be a little bit more direct and maybe a little more aggressive here, but forgive me. I do this out of love. Okay, first off, you're asking, is there a strategy to trade the trends with that indicator? Yes, make sure that you watch the video in the program that comes alongside that indicator so that you actually know how it works. And then 2, are you waiting for them to cross? No, and that should be very fucking clear if you actually have watched that video. You're not waiting for them to cross. You're waiting for a very specific signature on them. That is the proper way to trade them if you are going to trade them. Now, with that in mind, you're asking for a reversal. You're using the fucking wrong indicator to begin with. You don't use Stokes for reversal. Those are more for rangy behavior. You're not looking for big reversal off those, although sometimes they can call them, but they're not gonna be the best indicator for that. There's much better indicators for that. For example, the RSI is just, a nice generic indicator that will actually be much better suited towards such things. But please, if you're gonna invest in these programs, if you're gonna put the time and effort into them, please actually watch the fucking videos, man, because if you don't, then you're not gonna use them properly, as it sounds like right here. That is, that's just not correct. And it's not going to work very, very well if you use it like that. I can assure you of that. So please do that. And then also do your own part to back test the way that you're looking to trade them, because it actually could be that the way that you are postulating them right now could be good for reversals. I've actually not exactly tested that certain strategy, so you might be right. But unless if you back tested it yourself 100 fucking times minimum, you're not going to know that. And if you did do that already, then you wouldn't be asking me, because you'd already fucking know, right? So please make sure that you please make sure that you actually watch the videos, because otherwise it's just, it's going to be a waste. It's going to be a waste of, of your money and time. BB Guard SP says CHC general overview. Sure, man. It says Chili's. Is Chili's over here. All right. Binance, and what do we have? Long term, okay. I do like this consolidation. Daily, I guess I like it as long as it's above 41.5 cents on a daily closure, or even just 40 cents on a daily closure. You okay for them? Are you having a rough day, sir? It's giving Elsa some shit. She lets out like long sighs. She's very mad. Anyways, I'm not mad.
You're cancelled.
I'm canceled. Are you gonna come over here and cancel me? Okay, so general overview. All right, so if we're on the low term time for like a 4 hour, let me actually just rechart it for this time from right here. I do think that you probably have a higher low right here. You do have bullish divergence, and I do think that you probably test around about 46.5 cents. Short term time frame range though does get reclaimed above 47 and a quarter, and then I'd be looking for an extension towards low 50s, 51 to 52 cent. Daily, I guess I treat this as a higher low as long as you are above 41.5 cents on a daily closure. If you do break that level to the downside, which I'm not saying that you are, but if you did, I'd be looking for big moves down to the mid 30s. Until then, I actually do think that this one's actually in a pretty good place long term. Just the question is, do we play the correction first to mid 30s before trying another upside move, or does it just try it from here? And I kind of have to give it a chance when it's doing something like this, but it's going to be decided very, very quickly. Look, below 41 cents bad is basically what I'm trying to say, and correction first. Until then, I guess you give it a chance, but understand where the risk is. Gemini Athlete says Ren 4 hour and daily. Sure, man. Cool. And Christina Maria says, saw the playlist and hey, awesome. Yeah. Hey, great to hear. Great to hear, Christina. Ren 4 hour and daily. Cool. Okay. Let's see. What is this one doing? Short-term bouncy, as is most of this market. Good. Daily. Oh, this is looking like a bear. Okay. So this is the bear trap signature that, is potential on Bitcoin, but not there just yet. You see the same thing on Ren right here, right? So you see the spike high from the 20th of November. It's taken out that high and initiates move towards your prior range highs. Good. And I do think that this one very likely does continue, assuming that you do close the daily above that 20th of November high. That's going to look actually pretty good coming into the rest of this week. Daily RSI showing the same sort of thing, rejecting the bearish control zone. And I'd be looking for this one to trade sideways and up, basically around your prior highs in this case. It'd actually be quite good. Weekly, less obvious. 4 hour, same thing. Don't really have anything to add right there. But where does this one fall apart? Well, basically back down below 82.5 cents. Below there, very bad. But until then, actually okay. Cool. Doji Subati says he is dating a female only fans foot model, so I think he is not gay. That's right. I love my feets, baby. I love my feets. Wapiti Arrow says, are you Indian by chance? Any room for upside on CGG still? Is this a stock or crypto? Oh god, it's crypto. Chain Guardians. All right, what is this? Actually still pretty good. At least on the 4 hour. I don't think that you've topped just no. Is there more room for upside? No, I think this one's literally just breaking out right now, man. Yeah, I mean, if you're on a 4 hour, yeah, it's starting to look a little bit toppier, although still trending. If you're on a daily, no. Fresh hidden bullish divergence off this last higher low right here. You're already at your prior all-time highs in this case. Just want to see a closure above this region. I think it's more of a formality, especially with volatility expanding already. No, I don't think that this one's done. This one's actually quite good. I need to write these down. Okay, what the fuck was this thing? CGG? All right, it's good. There you go, man. Powerful, 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 sir. Nice one, man. Oh shit, I just lost my place. Damn it. Where was I? Where was I? There we go. I found it. Nice. Greetings from Seattle from a nerd that was born in Oslo. Hey, wait, what? Why did you move to? Why did you move to Washington? Why did you move to America from Norway, man? Norway's probably really, really nice. Well, fair enough, man. I hope you're enjoying your time over there. Nimbo says, "Sir, what happened to gold? Can you please?" Oh, dear Lord, Dave has rent again. All right, let's go look at gold. Piece of shit, gold over here. You're coming down to the exact level that you really don't want to fucking see breaks, but I would be looking for a bounce here first. Look, below about 1800 on a weekly. It's like, this is why you don't fucking trade gold. I still am gonna like this one in all higher term time frames. But if you're trying to pay rent by the end of this week, well, I do think that you're gonna bounce here probably back up to 1825 to 1830. But yeah, this one. This is why I don't fucking trade gold myself, man. I don't want anything to do with this thing. Below 1800, very, very bad, obviously, but I do kind of still favor the monthly and perhaps the quarterly. Yeah, it's probably gonna be fine long term. If you're on the short term time frames, like a 4 hour, same thing here. Yeah, probably short term bouncy. This one's been beat up to the downside enough for the very short term. So I don't know exactly what time frame you're going off of, but I typically know that you are very long term time frame oriented. So I think it's important to kind of, talk about, I don't know, the quarterly in that case. But let me know if I'm wrong. Some guy says, "Hi, Krown. Cheers from George. What's up, man? I am curious if the bird, which is the bald eagle, is going to take off." All right, Luna, short and long term, and love you as well, sir. Okay, we got Luna. Okay, is their mascot a bird or something? Yeah, this one. Yeah, another one of the very strong ones during the summer, but well, I mean, it's still. Yeah, okay. So what was the question exactly? Short and long term. Short term, I do think that you've got maybe one more run at your current lows, whether that be at about $40 even or $39. I don't have a strong opinion on that, but I do think that, yes, you will test down around there. You have the same sort of potential bear trap setup as you do on Bitcoin, but not confirmed until you get back above your last spike high right here at about 45 and a quarter. Above there, things actually look a lot better for both the short term and the long term. And it's anybody to move back to 51 and basically $52 above there. That's like your very good long term, of course. But if you do break below about $39, well, it's a long way down to 34 and a quarter. And if we do look at the weekly does look like it wants to take a leg down there. So if I had to call this one myself, I'd say, yeah, down towards about $35. Multiple drives of bearish evidence on a weekly. I'm probably looking for a continuation of correction here. Long term, like very long term, probably still good. I mean, this is an uptrend, but this one can correct quite a fair bit. Anish, appreciate that, man, but feel free to have a message as well. Mr. F Politics. Hey, that is actually a great name. And you know what? I would 100% agree. It's not that F Politics, just I fucking hate political tribes. And it blows my mind that people can get sucked into that. Very smart people too. Like very smart people that I know get sucked into politics. Like, man, that is a fucking waste. Adam USD 4-hour daily. Sure. All right. Cosmos. Okay. Whoops. There we go. All right, Cosmos versus the dollar, and you're looking at a 4-hour daily. Got it. Daily, a little bit of a short-term continuation of bounce, I do believe. Nope. Sorry, I spoke too soon. Should have looked at the 4-hour. 4-hour, I would be very. I do think that it'd be very easy to call another move back down to $28 if you see any sort of a closure below $30 or even 30 and a quarter in this case. Daily. If you were to close above about $33, I'd say that would look pretty damn good for a move back up to 38 and a quarter to $39, and that would look like this one that the correction is nearly over if that happens. So you're kind of at like a major precipice right here where a lot's going to be decided. Weekly, still long-term good for what it's worth. In fact, the weekly kind of does make me think that it will pull through, but again, 4-hour below 30 to 30 and a quarter. At best looking for another move down to like 28 and probably more like 26 and a half to 27 to be fair. Cool. All right. Azure, we already looked at Gala, or did we look at Gala? I don't know. I forget. I think we did look at this. Yeah, we looked at this one very, very early, so you can scroll back to the beginning of this stream, but I think it is starting to look a lot more corrective here, to be fair, but I shouldn't call the correction until you actually crack back down below 35 cents. Okay, let's see. Let's see, what else do we have over here? Draz Tech says, I'd love to hear analysis on EFI. Okay. Not familiar with this one either. Man, okay, yeah, we did look at this one yesterday. I just don't recall it much, but I do recognize the name. Short term, putting in a bit of a low right here, so that does look good. Would confirm it above 160 and look for moves back up to 168 to 170-ish region. Daily. I mean, this one's ranging at best on the daily, but it's not bad. Above 175 on a daily, I would look for this one to retest prior all-time highs. Until then, going sideways on a daily time frame between about 130 and 175 is good. It's just, you know, where do you cut that in the short term? I don't really have a strong opinion on that. I mean, we did look at the 4 right here, and that does look a little more bouncy short term. So would be favoring another test of the top side, but that does not imply a break just yet. I'd want to see that actually happen. And then yes, it looks pretty damn good. Take another sippy sip of this, man. Man, it is it's a long day today. What's up, Keen to Crypto? Definitely Australian. Oh, I could not agree more, Mr. Arbiter Media. Politics are toxic. They are toxic. People join these political gangs where they no longer have, like, you know, their own thought processes. They just kind of run off of the group mentality. And dear Lord, man, I see that we have 1.2 thousand likes on this video now with 1,400 people watching. That is amazing. Holy shit. Again, major thank you for that. That is insane. Like, what the actual hell? Tyron Naidu says, hey, Krown, can you look at Theta on the 4-hour and daily? Certainly. I think we looked at this one yesterday. I forget whether it was good or bad, though. Theta token, short term coming back down, very likely at least to about six and a quarter. But yeah, okay, you did ask about a 4 hour. Okay, great. Daily, same sort of thing. I do think you're going through a much more prolonged correction here, and I do think that this one is relatively weak compared to most of this market, and this one can very easily test down around about $6 and still bounce. That is the hopium. The doomium is below 575. This one falls apart. I don't think that's what's happening, but that's what I'd be looking for. And daily, I wouldn't get excited until you get back above $8, and then the big move, very likely towards double digits actually. Until then, short term downside angled and very likely bounces off the prior low. After that, I'd be looking at this area right here, 7 and a quarter above there. I look for a test of your $8 range highs, and that's where the daily comes into play. Drew Hill says, hey man, can you look at, it's like you read Tyron's mind, man. It's a damn wizard over there. But yep, same thing right there. David Espinoza says, Epic. Okay. This is definitely a new one for me. EPIK. All right. Okay. Should keep an open mind, I guess. I mean, most of the shitcoins that I've ever heard of before are the ones that are looking pretty damn good here, to be fair. So let's see. Good here, man. Another higher low in the making, it looks like. And I treat it as a higher low as long as it's above 59 and a quarter. Yeah, the 4 hour, same thing right here, 60 cents actually on a 4 hour closure. Below there, yeah, it does very likely correct down to 50 cents, but for right now, this is actually quite good, and I do think that this one's going to retest your prior highs. Very interesting, man. A lot of new tokens over these last couple weeks, and most of them actually a lot better than Bitcoin, in fact, which is very interesting, man. This is a welcome surprise for someone who's been here since 2016 to 2017, of which I'm sure many of the people have as well. CDC says, could you take a look at FET? Sure, but with no time frames given, I don't know where the fuck you want me to go on this one, sir. Okay, I remember the last time we looked at this one, something like this, right? Looks like it did hold the range low, so that's good. Short term though, is it going to come back down and test around there? Yes, it does look like it. Probably somewhere back down around about 77 cents or so. Again, that's just short term time frames. I don't know if that's relevant to you or not. The general answer or the general analysis would be above 95 cents good, looking for new all-time highs after that. Below 66 cents, it will no longer be long-term bullish. It will be long-term bearish, actually, looking for big moves down to half a buck and beyond. Personally speaking, I do think that you're going to probably trade back to the bottom side of the range. However, it probably does hold, puts in a higher low, and then you give another try to the upside. It's just what I'd be looking for there, but probably going to take some time, more importantly. I9 Phillips says, AVAX hidden support at 132 right now. Do you think it will go up or down? On what fucking time frame, sir? On what goddamn time frame, sir? Holy shit. I'm going to blow out my fucking brains today. Well, it's obviously going down because it's already broken that, or hasn't broken that region. That is not a support, sir. 132 is not a support. I repeat, 132 is not a support. Nothing other than just... I don't know where you're getting that from, man, but my area of interest is 123 on this one. Below there, that's where I call a bit of a medium-term reversal on this one. Until then, short-term, we did say earlier that it was likely to come down somewhere around about $1.28 to $1.29. I believe that's what we're going to see right now. Probably does have a little bit of a short-term bounce right around there, too. Well, look at the hourly. A little more droopy right there, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one actually come down to like 126 region. Damien says, am I reading this correctly? Ascending triangle with bullish divergence on CRO, 1 hour, 4 hour, please. Okay. Have we looked at this one today? Actually, maybe not. Which is very interesting because this is maybe one of the best operators right there. All right. So you are asking a very specific question. You're asking, are we seeing an ascending triangle? No. Okay. Maybe you're on an hourly in this case. Yes, you are on an hourly, something like this. You got something like this as your bottom side. It's not super obvious just yet, and I do think that you probably do come back down and test around the lows. Are we seeing hidden bullish evidence here? No, we are not. There is not hidden bullish evidence. In fact, there is regular bearish evidence come off this last high. Short term, I do think it corrects back down, very short term on like an hourly to the bottom side of this range. And if it is going to be an ascending triangle, then you'd expect it to put in a higher low somewhere right around here, and then you'd be looking for your hidden bullish evidence. But no, you do not have any bullish evidence there at the current moment in time. Crypto Slave says, hey man, we've already got AVAX. I also did, we've actually got it multiple times. I also did record a video on it, so I'll upload that after this stream. But I do think that you're probably getting into a medium term high very, very soon there. Very, very soon. Long term though, I don't think it's done like coming into early 2022, if that means anything to you. Dan Deus says, hey Krown, what's up man? Can we look at Ethereum? I think did we look at Ethereum? Did we look at Ethereum today? Maybe not, actually. All right, so let's go look at it then. Let's just go look at it. All right, let's try it for the 4 hour, and then I think that was for the daily right there, but that's okay. We can maybe get to that a little bit later. We've already looked at Ethereum Bitcoin, sir, so just scroll back. Let's see. Should I record this one? Yeah, fuck it, we'll do it. Whoops. Yeah, fuck it, we'll do it is going to be the first words of that recording. Here we have Ethereum, symbol ETH versus the dollar. And what do we have here? We have a nice little trading range, and we have the same sort of potential bear trap setup that Bitcoin has. However, it will not be validated, especially as long as we're below yesterday's spike high at 43.19. And if you want to be super conservative, then I'd wait for 44.33 to the upside. If that level does get taken out, then I would be looking for another return back up around pretty much your prior time highs at about 46 to maybe even 4,700. Obviously, long term above 4,800, that is, road to 5,400 over time, I suppose. Short term, however, do I think that it's going to test back down around your current lows? I mean, you're kind of already there, but I wouldn't be calling this one on a breakdown to, major new lows, in this case, targeted regions towards about 3,900 to 3,750 until you actually do crack back down and close a 4 hour delta below 30, basically 4,000 or 39.80 in this case. Until then, short term, a little bit sideways and down, but I would be looking for a bounce relatively soon. Probably going to be easier to watch Bitcoin on this one. And then if the bounce does reclaim above your prior range highs, those bear trappy areas right here, then that's where I'd be looking for this one to actually follow through and have a pretty nice move. Daily, not getting much from this. If anything, it's more on the downside angle, but again, you do have a bear trap setup for what it's worth. Let's go see it over here. See what is it looking like. 4 hour stuff. It's going to cross back above 40.90, which you are currently 25 bucks above right now, so looking good. Daily will freshly cross up today on closure above 40.60, good. 12 hour will also turn up above 4,200, so not as relevant, but still interesting. And hourly stays up above about 4,100. So I do think it's going to have a chance. Probably easy to watch Bitcoin because they're kind of doing the same thing right here. But again, back above this region right here, very, very nice. Bear trap confirmed. Looking for basically retest your highs after that over time, and probably new all-time highs as well. Weekly, kind of hard to not look at this. 1, 2, 3 drives of bearish divergence. Volatility is very low right now, so if that volatility expansion comes alongside a reversal, 3,600 would be my target long term. Let's see, what do we look like over here? Weekly stocks are hard down below 46.50. Yeah, not great. 5 days, same thing. So that's where I leave it right there. So the stakes are rather high, but if you can complete the bear trap before the end of this week, then that would look really, really good. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Ethereum, sir. Oh, is it? Okay. So no more super chats after this exact moment right here. We'll read all the ones that were submitted before this. Basically, do daddy, you're the last one, sir. And I hope that we can do that as respectfully as possible. I always feel very, very bad when someone donates, but it's kind of like past their time. So please do be aware of that. Oh, echoes the end. All right, man. Fine. We'll do the last one. CCAS says, top of the morning, Crownmeister. Top of the morning, TSR. Time I take the deal, get on the program, and learn how to do this TA shit's proper. Like, hey, fair enough, man. You know, if you feel like you've got the time and you want to put the energy into it, then, you know, I'll let you make that decision for yourself. CRV, we've already got that one, I believe. We at least got like the other CVX. I'm very sure about that one. Yeah, this one's still good. I actually recorded a video on this one, and I'll upload it later. But I'm looking for a retest of the highs this rally, and then very likely new highs actually over the next couple of weeks here. This one's quite good. Resolving the falling channel right there, so a little bit of a higher statistical chance for that one to be going to the upside than the downside in this case. And of course, invalidation below about 390. Let's see. Hex Atlas says, hello, big bro. Hey, what's up, man? Just wondering if you think Hex is putting in a low, been grinding out the 18-cent area for in daily. Sure, man. Okay, Hex USD. I see you, G squared. I see you, sir. Do I think that it's putting in a daily low right here? You know, again, you kind of have a similar sort of bear trappy setup right here. Although, look, here's the God's honest truth about this one. This is a fucking parabolic blow off top, man. You know, the bounce that I was looking for last week barely got to my fucking area, and that was like a very weak target that I had on that one at 27 cents and immediately rejected. Look, could it put in a higher low right here? It could. Is it showing that activity right now? Absolutely fucking not. Where do you confirm a higher low right here? Not anytime soon. Back above 22.5 cents? Yes, confirmed. And I'll be looking for another run, probably back around here towards 27.5 cents. That's where things can actually change around here now. But until then, I mean, look, man, whenever you see something like this, when you see a parabolic blow off top like this, if I'm giving my God's honest opinion on this one, I think in the next few months, you're going to see this thing probably closer to, it's going to be in single digits, very, very likely. But very long term, I wouldn't be surprised to see it towards 3.5, maybe even 2 cents. You know, this, like, be aware of what you're in right here, obviously. I'm just looking at charts. Again, you know, I was bullish on this thing all the way from 2 cents to 50 cents. And I did call it up at 50 cents. And I've been calling bounces along the way, of which one of them I was phenomenally wrong about, by the way. I was phenomenally wrong about this bounce over here. I was looking for it to get back up towards like 38 or 39 cents. Only got up to like 33.5 cents. So it's been pretty weak the whole way through, man, which is really not a good sign. Are there going to be more bounce along the way? Probably yes. But until this one really starts to close dailies back above, you know, I mean, at minimum 22.5 cent. That's not even like the big area. The big area is 27.5 cent now. I look at this one as, you know, just down. Here's your monthly. Like, does this look like a low to you? Probably not. And I know that you've been here for a while, so I know that you're probably a reasonable person. I mean, look at this right here. I'll just leave that chart right there. Or look at the bi-weekly. You know, could it bounce right here? Yeah. I mean, back above last bi-weekly high, that 27 cent region, this thing's going to rally quite a fair bit. But you're still working on lower highs on the weekly for a long time, man. For a very long time. Below 40 cents, essentially. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. What the fuck crypto says IMX 6 hour and weekly. Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for AVAX and CRO last week. Saved me from XRP. Nice. Glad to hear. XRP is the perennial disappointer. Just cannot rally with the rest of the market. Very bad sign, but at some point it'll probably get its day in the sun. Everything does, right? 6 hour and weekly for this. Not really a weekly to be had right here. It is good on the weekly for the information that we have, but I wouldn't make much out of that. 6 hour. 6 hour does look like another higher low to me. Do we have hidden bullish evidence accompanying that? No. I would still play it as such with a risk with essentially an invalidation below 692 in this case. Below there, bad. Looking for a correction back down to 620 or 615. Until then, I do treat this one as very likely a higher low and works its way back up towards 850, maybe even $9. Not a whole hell of a lot of history here, but it is good for the history that we do have, I guess. But Tom Yao says, gay on the 1 minute, please. Seems bullish as fuck today. Oh man, I'm feeling it in my plums right now. Let's see, is this actually a thing? Oh man, it's not a thing. We need more acceptance in this world. Obviously, TradingView does not like the GAY. Ban it. What's up, Dion S? Thanks, man. Can I get your thoughts on SLND? Sure, SLND. All right. It's a new one for me as well. Not good. Not fucking good, man. Only goes down. It's really, really new here, though. It's like how much do you actually put weight on a chart like this? I don't think all that much really matters. But so I always want to say, hey, a healthy amount of I don't know is like the real answer on something like this. But whenever I see a chart that just gets sold as soon as it gets listed, it's probably not a great sign. But I really don't have an opinion on this, man. I really don't have an opinion on this. More MV1 says PYR still up. Yeah, we looked at that one earlier today. It's pretty damn good. After that 26 target last week. Nice. Sweet. Sounds like it's working out well for you. And then you also want to look at upper, or is that super? Okay, I'm going to try this. Okay, so you're probably saying super, I'm guessing. Super. Okay, where are we at? Actually, this thing's holding up really, really well. Damn, Elio. Yeah, Elio's going for domination over here, and his damn token's coming along with it, I guess. This thing's quite fucking bullish as long as you're above, especially 140, but I'd even go as far as saying 1.25. Long term, that is. Weekly, it's good, man. Like, this is actually quite good. We did hit our 220 target from a couple weeks prior, so that's good. But I'd say the next time that this thing closes above $2 on a daily, I'm looking for quite a significant move to the upside. I'm talking like $2.80 to $3 actually, which is going to be in line with your last major rejective regions coming in from back here. Yeah, that's actually $3 right there. 270 I think would be rather likely. It's going to take some time, obviously, but again, fellas, we've turned off the super chats. We're not going to read any more. Unfortunately, again, we humbly request that you read the pinned message because we just can't do it. We have to maintain our schedule here. This is actually very fucking good here, man. I was pretty surprised. 5-day close as a bullish engulfing dildo right there. I'm probably looking for this one to make a nice leg up over the next couple weeks here towards 2.5, maybe even $3. Actually quite good. Invalidation very obviously be had below about 140 on a daily or 145. Until then, I mean, it's actually quite good. Big Bully Andillo says, can you look at, or thanks for KLV advice. This is not financial advice, sir. I sold and bought CRO. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Damien says, Polkadot on the 4-hour and daily, please. Sure, man. Symbol DOT. Okay. Oh, no, this is not it. Hold on. Let's try this. Corrective still, man. I'm probably looking for this one to come down to $35.50 over the next couple weeks. But you're asking for a 4-hour and daily. Let's go down to a daily. Bear trap confirmation above 43.5. 4-hour, same thing. Until then, do you get another pity bounce off of $38.50? Perhaps yes. If you do confirm the bear trap, which this one's not looking as strong as some of the other ones, I would be looking for a big move up towards maybe even $49. Until then, I would be cognizant that 37 and 35 cents is kind of like that last must hold area. If that lets go, I'm looking for that first correction down to about 35.25. Probably bounce there and then we'll come back to it after that. But you do have weekly bearish divergence here. I know you didn't ask for that time frame, but I do think that it's important. Mr. Rotterdam. Mr. Rotterdam. Hi, win versus dollar. Okay. Short term. Gotcha. Okay. Win USD. Okay. On Binance, and actually quite good here on the weekly as it does kind of complete its accumulation phase. Now, I wouldn't get too excited about just yet until you get back up about 9,400. Above there, I do look for big moves to the upside. Until then, sideways is good as long as you do not crack back down below 0.7 of a cent. I think that is. Sorry, it's not even 0.7. It's like 0.07 of a cent right there. Cool. CCAS, we just got super, so all good right there. Mr. Toby Wan, what's up, man? Yeah, we just looked at Hex. Probably not gonna like my analysis, but hey, man, it has a chance above 27 cent. If that does happen, that would look pretty damn good for a big rally into the mid 30s. Until then, not a big fan of that chart, man. I think it's gonna be a very long time, man. A very, very long time before that one does anything to the upside that is sustained. Cool. All right. Let's see. Zen Bull Trading says Rose USD on the 1 hour. Sure. All right. On the hourly, huh? Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what we got over here. This is Oasis, which had a really good day yesterday. Actually quite good. Reaccumulating right here. Bullish as long as you're above 36 cent. Looking for short-term moves up to 40.5, maybe even 41.5. Looking for new highs above 43 cents. I'm guessing. Yeah. On a continuation drive. It's getting close to a major high here, but I actually think that it probably does have one more try. It's not quite there just yet. Mr. Arrow says my previous super chat was CGG. Forgot to specify 4-hour daily. It's all good, man. We got it, brother. But actually a very interesting chart right there, all things considered. Rocket Kelly says Sol 4 hour and daily. Okay. Yeah, man, we haven't looked at Solana today. That is, man, Solana's just fallen out of favor. I kind of see why right here. Bless you, sir. Does look like it wants to set up for another move back down towards about $200. Yeah, 4 hour kind of droop here as well. Yeah, I'd probably be looking for another move towards about $200 or so, and probably another bounce there. I would still hold off on getting like full on bearish on something like this until you break below about 191, 192 region. At that point, this one very likely goes for a much more prolonged downside move towards 160 to 165. Until then, I give it a chance to bounce here and then back above this rejective high that we saw over the past couple of days at 230. That would look quite good. That would look quite good for another retest basic of your prior highs and probably beyond at 250 plus. Until then, short term, I do think this one is a little more sideways and down and retest around your last daily low. And if you can put in a bit of a higher low right there, that would look good. That would look quite good. So yeah. All right, let's see. Miss or Mrs. Elsie, RMRK, 4 hour and daily. Thank you so much. Sure. Okay, I see what you're talking about, Nimbo. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, and that would work. And that would work, to be fair. So you are 100% right. I see what you mean. It'd still be like the same thing anyway. So it's actually kind of like a moot point, but I see what you mean now. Anyways, RMRK, and what time for me looking at 4 hour and daily? We're on an hourly right there. Actually still pretty good. Long term, it's a short term toppy though. I do think that it probably comes back down to like $33.50 before this is all said and done. Then again, I look at a 4 right here, and this is actually like good for right now. You know what? I would actually be running off the 4 in this case. If you do see a 4 hour closure above $37.50, I'll be looking for a retest of prior all-time highs at about $40. And dare I say, this one probably actually trends after that. It's actually quite good right here. Now, if you do fail below $34.50, I would be looking for a short-term correction down to about 31.25, maybe in as deep as 30.25. But this one's it's close to a major high right here. I don't know if it's there just yet though. In fact, I'm getting conflicting signals, but I'm inclined to say this one probably is one more move to the upside. It's very close though, very, very close, but it's almost there. But probably one more move to the upside. Moose Down Under says Moy Krown, Gala USD. We just got that one, so all good there, all good. I was late today, traffic bro. It's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, you can scroll back. It was actually at the beginning of this video here, so it should be still quite relevant. Yeah, it'll be in the timestamps for sure. Blaine Dewey says, give your weekly opinion on GameStop. Great analysis. All good, man. And thank you. Sweet. GameStop. Yeah, we looked at it yesterday and it's actually looking quite good on the weekly. Yeah, we did say 250 target yesterday. We just about gotten that. I'd actually extend this all the way up to 267, 265 to 270-ish region. This is actually starting to look pretty damn good again. I think this might actually be the run right here, to be fair. Weekly closure above 270, and this thing very likely going to run up to 350 or so. But for right now, we got volatility trending up. We got hidden bullish evidence on weekly RSI. We got a higher low. It's hard to hate from a TA perspective. So I'll just leave that one right there. Let's see. Northwest says UOS. Okay. Is this a thing? It is a thing. God damn it. It's good, whatever it is. Jesus, man. Powerful. Wow. Getting close to a local high, but I think this one still has maybe one more drive to go. Probably one more drive, somewhere around about $1.90 to $2. And then I'll be cognizant of major highs getting put in. But for right now, yeah, this one still very likely has at least one more new high to go. I would invalidate this one and call a high sooner before continuation below 170. Below 170 on a 4 hour. Cool. Austin McMahon says, can you look at Wilder World? Okay. All right. It's a new one as well. A lot of these new ones are really fucking good, actually. Again, actually quite good right here on the 4 and daily and long term. There's probably not a long term on this. Yeah, it's only been around for a few months here, but it is good. I actually would be looking for a retest your prior highs at 6.25. Probably new all-time highs as well. Invalidated below about 4.95 in this case, or just $5. 4 hours still good. Volatility about to turn up here. All momentum oscillators are bullish. I'm looking for one more move to the upside at minimum. Quite good. Quite good, actually. Even daily BBWP, not quite up there just yet. All right. Ivana Wanna Banana. I would like a banana as well. CRV, we've already got that one a couple times. It was pretty damn good. I'll also upload a video on it soon enough. Scott Johnson says CHR. Okay, it's a new one. Or is it a new one? Chroma. Yeah, we've seen this one before, but another decent altcoin here. But we are starting to create some bearish divergences on the daily. And oh, you're on the short-term time frames, right? We'll do a 4 hour then. 4 hour, I do think has one more run at your highs, at least 143. Hourly, very short term, probably coming back down to 130 and bounces there. I would invalidate short-term bullishness below specifically 121 and a quarter. Until then, I do think that this one has another move to the upside, maybe even one more new all-time high as well, but very close to a major high here. Very, very close. I think it's got probably one more move at most. Franz Pernolet says, can you check out Super? Yep, we just did that one earlier. It's actually looking pretty damn good. Still want to see it close the daily above $2, and that would be the condition for continuation. Jack Jansen says HTR USD for our daily. This is Hathor. All right, here we go. Toppy as fuck. We have multiple drives of bearish divergence right there. Working off extreme conditions on volatility. Yeah, I'm probably looking for this one to come back down to range lows at about $1.70. Try for a bounce there. I don't know if this, I don't think this one's like topped out for forever, but I do think it's topped out for the short term if that's your specific question. Whoopsies. Gonna break my watch. Hebrew Sir God says AMP USD. Yep, we already looked at that one, but we've not looked at the hourly, so I'll just briefly touch on it over here. Short term, a little bit of sideways and probably back down to like 6.2 cent, but I do like this one on the daily. It would look really, really good above 7.2 cents by end of day, and I do think that it very likely does fall through to the upside. It's actually quite good, but hourly just sideways right now. Josh Roberts says H bar, please. Oh dear lord. H bar, Derpa hash graph. We haven't looked at this one in a while as well. Ranging at best here. I do think that it probably does try for a bounce off of 34 cents, and I'd get very bearish below 32.5 cents. So I do think you're going to try for a bounce relatively soon. Wouldn't get excited about this thing as long as you're below 45 cents, however. No time frames given, though. Chase Crafts is your own bias, TA opinions. I'm glad to hear that, but charts are just chart, man. They're neutral. These assets, they don't fucking love you nor hate you. They don't love you nor hate you. They're indifferent, man, which is how we should be as well. Cool, man. Sounds like you're on the path. That's awesome, man. Jimmy Bacchus says, just saying hi, bro. You have a good week as well, man. Thank you for that. Jack Jansen says, Rose. Yep, we just got that one. Anish says, hey, man, left a super chat, but forgot to write a message. All good. We did do UOS. I think it was actually quite good. So I think we're good on that one. Dude Daddy says, thanks for, hey, man, no problem. If you're coming out to Miami this winter for a little, actually, is it warm there during the winter? Elsa would probably like Miami, but I don't think that we can actually go because I think you need the old jabbity jab in order to go there. And, well, won't complete that sentence. You know where I'm going with that. Echo Zien says, you mentioned meditating a lot and seem pretty intentional about staying Zen objective. Any tips on how to develop that mindset? Meditation. Meditation, and go read a bunch of spiritual books by Eckhart Tolle and you'll get there. Or take a shit ton of acid. That will also do the trick. G squared, appreciate that, brother. And Dave Sinclair, sorry I wasn't clear before. I actually meant the momentum indicator you show all the time. Oh, you're talking about this one. This is a private indicator that is not public unless you're in the program. Even then, it's like, you know, the creator of it, he like, I mean, it's basically up to him. I don't own the rights to this one, is what I want to say. If you're talking about this indicator right here, if you're talking about RSI, this one, this is just Caretaker's RSI. So yeah. But if you're on the program, just message him and should be all good. Alrighty, sirs and sirs. Oh man, it's been a long stream today. Holy shit, 2:06 on the clock. My voice is starting to fail me, but it's all good because it was actually quite a fun day. And I think that's a good place to kind of wrap up on Bitcoin too. You know, do we have a potential bear trap setup here? We certainly do. Is it confirmed anytime soon? No, but above either the most aggressive would be a 4-hour closure above 58,250. That might be a little bit too aggressive for me. For myself personally, above yesterday's high, that would look pretty damn good for a continuation to 61,300 minimum, and very likely does extend another few thousand to 63 over time. And if you want to be super conservative, then back above your 21st of November high right there would be good enough. But you know, until then, Bitcoin doing the dance of death in the blue box territory right there. Personally speaking, I do think that it will bounce and probably does put in a bit of a trappy trap. But hey, if it breaks below 55,150. Again, 55,150, I do look for big moves down towards 53,500 and the next bounce somewhere around there between that and about 54. Until then, I'm going to be signing off right now. Maybe we do a shorts video later if relevant. Elsa is not waving in the background. She's showing her fist in the background. Oh, there's the wave. And so that is my key. She's raising the roof too. Anyways, I'm going to be signing off now. Wish everyone well. Much love. And we will We will come back soon enough. Take care, and until next time.
Write it, code it, name it, read it, write it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it, trade it, buy it, sell it, store it.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They'll call him Crypto Krown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep Red Sea. Trend lines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From distributor into XRP. Oh, there Jesus set us free. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Others better but go down. Cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos